Yeah, okay, we're now live. Welcome to my stream. This is going to be a stream where we all together mass flag. Hold on a second. We're all going to mass flag CNN because I personally don't like them, and that is my standard for who should be mass censored and who shouldn't be. I'm questioning whether I want to keep the name of this stream the I Agree stream because it's kind of a lame name, and I think that after the fucking drama on Twitter, that I might change it. Might hear some water in the background. It's a laundry day. Anyways, so yeah, it's fucking humid as shit out. I just went out for a jog and I came swimming back. It is really fucking bad out right now. So I'll probably do a longer jog tomorrow because holy shit, it's terrible out. But let me get the stream linked out there on all my social media so we can get started with a decent sized audience. Make sure I spelled that correctly. Okay, it should be on Twitter. It's now on Gab. Okay. Okay, everything should be good now. So yeah, the elephant in the room for this stream is the fact that right before I went for my jog, which was about an hour ago, I got into a back and forth with Jeff Holiday, who did something that I really don't like. I can say that one of the things that I don't like about the conversation that I just had with him is he did the fucking bullshit of, go, man, Lewis, you're losing it. You're fucking losing it. You're out here defending Alex Jones and the fact that he was conspired against and banned from every single fucking major platform likely that he could have been. There's only a couple more that he could have been banned from. And there's a list that is now growing. Even in the last 24 hours, he was allegedly banned from LinkedIn, although I checked on that and I don't see that to be exactly true, but that's still being claimed, so I'm not too sure what exactly he was banned for, or whether it was InfoWars or whatever. But there's apparently another media account that I'm forgetting offhand. Let me see if I can find that anywhere. He was banned from one more since the original 4 came out yesterday. He was banned on one more than that. Does anyone have it in anyone have it in the chat offhand? Does anyone know what the other platform he was banned off of? Oh, yeah, it was emails. MailChimp or whatever. They banned his entire business out of the blue for some reason. Was it Instagram too? Was he banned from Instagram? I know he was I saw the actual message from MailChimp. His whole platform was actually banned from was it Instagram? I'd have to double check on Instagram. I didn't see Instagram. But MailChimp Pinterest was the one. Pinterest he was banned from. Thank you there, Sifoth. That's correct. He was banned from Pinterest. For seemingly no reason, which is my issue. You know, the whole issue of I don't like Alex Jones, thus is not any kind of coherent argument for anything. Autistic Whisper said, you mentioned an anti-SJW who is becoming regressive. Was it Matt or Jeff or both? It was neither, actually, although it's a serious question at this point, especially as it relates to Jeff muting me, simply for the fact that I continue to call him out on the fact that he doesn't have a coherent standard as to what he's talking about. I mean, this bullshit of, oh, I don't agree with them being deplatformed, but allow me to justify it, attempt to justify it, even though it makes no sense. Matt and Jeff both did that. I don't agree, but here's me defending it and trying to justify it, even though it makes no sense. You're not prefacing it with, well, I don't agree, but giving them the benefit of the doubt. It's just, I don't disagree, or I don't agree with them being deplatformed, but here's me justifying it one tweet ago. It's absolutely ridiculous. You know, And it wasn't them I was speaking about when I made that reference. You can go see my last video for a reference as to who I was speaking about. This is not the first time that I've had a back and forth with Jeff. Actually, let me retweet my video from yesterday. This is not the first time I've had a back and forth with Jeff, but this is the first time that he's actually just flat out muted me and just walked away from the conversation as though that's any kind of that's any kind of real acknowledgement of the fact that him and I know each other, and we have known each other for quite a while. It's really underhanded. I mean, he could have just said, listen, this is getting too heated, whatever, I'm going to walk away from this. I got something else going on. He could have been actually civil about it, but instead he just muted me and walked away and acted like he was like the shit. I don't know what the dude's issue is, but in all fairness, in all respect to him, even still, like, I think he has a fucking ego problem and he needs to get it under control, because he was like and if I remember correctly, the last time him and I went back and forth, he was a total asshole to me. He was a total asshole to me the last time we had a disagreement. And I don't know, like, I don't get it. I don't get why he has such a fucking issue with just explaining coherently what his stance is. He has no stance. It's completely ridiculous. And it's hypocritical, especially because this is my big thing, and I'm questioning whether I want to do a follow-up video on this, because it's such a fucking issue. It really is. It really is a continuous issue. One of the biggest problems with what's happened with Alex Jones is the fact that no one is actually providing a coherent reason why he deserved mass censorship. People keep keeping it within the context of YouTube. That's not what happened. It's not he uploaded a video, got 3 strikes, and lost his channel. It's he was randomly taken down from YouTube for content that he allegedly uploaded. The reasoning behind it was content he uploaded over a year ago, well over a year ago. How is that actually fair to him? But this is the thing. They don't care. They don't care that it's fair to him, when I do. I mean, you can go see the videos that I've done on my channel, one of which is called Explaining the Joke Alex Jones, where I say about Jones that I do not take him seriously. I find him to be a hyperbolic idiot. I see him as a buffoon. So that's why I don't want him censored. I don't understand why, and this is the thing, when the pivot came, this is the thing, like, if you see someone as a fool, if you see someone as a comedian, as a living meme, okay, how much sense does it make to specifically censor a fool? Why would you censor a fool? Can someone explain that to me in the chat? Can someone explain to me why one would censor a fool? But that's the thing. The pivot happened, and all of a sudden, it's not, he's a fool, he's a living meme, I don't take him seriously. And you saw this, there's a ton of people. Like, I don't want this to be me piling on Jeff because him and I had a disagreement. This is Matt. This is that Pope Hat guy. This is a ton of fucking people who pivoted instantly from, he's totally a joke, he's a meme, I don't take him seriously, he's a fool, he's a living meme. All of a sudden, he became somebody who's dangerous. All of a sudden, he's dangerous and needs to be censored. He's a defamer. He's acting against the law. He's inciting violence. He's doing this. He's doing that. He's dangerous. So that's why we now need to censor him. Yesterday, he was a fool that I don't need to take seriously. Today, he's a danger that he needs to be stopped. He needs to be sued. He needs to be arrested. He needs to be mass censored. All of a sudden, he's a fucking danger. Coincidentally, the midterms are just a short time away. Just coincidentally, the midterms are coming up. I'm sure that had nothing to do with it. I'm sure that had nothing to do with the fact that he was randomly censored by all these different outlets that have a political bias. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the elections that are coming up, which is, here, let me find the New York Times article. Let me find that article. There's a fucking unbelievable article from the New York Times who they flat out fucking say it in the article. let me share my screen and I'll show it to you. This isn't actually that terrible of an article, just as a standalone article, but it's so telling as an article. So let's scroll down. Let me Control F. How do I hit Control F. Mid. Oh, there we go. There it is. Mr. Jones has promoted himself in InfoWars as a near solitary truth teller in a news landscape dominated by left-leaning corporatists. Now, oh, you know who else uses that word a lot? Me. I guess I'm just a shill for InfoWars. I'm just a fucking hack. I'm a closet conservative. I'm a homophobe. I'm everything else in the book because him and I agree that one of the big problems in the world is corporatism, corporate dominance over society. I guess that just makes me, I'm just a homophobe then. You know, I want to electroshock trans people or some such shit. Even though the popular Drudge Report website has broadcast the show on Monday, now what he calls it is deplatforming. It's not his word. It's him using common progressive vernacular. Has only increased his sense of grievance. Yes, because he was conspired against. He's a conspiracy theorist who was actively conspired against. Congratulations, you proved his entire point. And that his followers, even as it shrinks his reach before the November midterm election. So he didn't bring this up. He was screaming about China. I watched a decent portion of his response yesterday. He was screaming about China. That's why he thinks he was censored, was that they're catering to the Chinese and that he speaks out against them and corporatism and globalism and yada yada. That's why he thinks he was censored. He didn't bring this up. The New York Times brought this up. They brought this up. This is projection. And this is a Freudian slip on their end, just admitting what they actually think this is about. And this is what I think this is about. This right here. This is what I think this is about. This is why I think he was censored. This is, and he said it right. He's the canary in the coal mine. I agree. I agree with that. This is all of these different companies testing the waters. Because if you don't think that they're going to pull some fucking insane shit come 2020, you might as well be asleep. You're not woke. You've been slept. This is all about 2020. This is all about Trump. They are fixated on him. Everyone is deranged by him. And they will take steps next term to censor everything that they can get away with. They will do it. And even some things they don't. They will do it. That's what this is about. If you think that this ends with Jones, you're fucking insane. You're insane if you think this ends with Jones. It absolutely does not. Tim says that I would say get a hobby, but being a major weeb appears to be it. I don't even watch anime, bro. You know, I don't know where people get that. I just did actually. Here's a quick shout out. Thank you, Tim. By the way, thanks, Tim. I like your suit. Good suit. You look stylish. Better than I do in a suit. And people can attest to that who met me in New York City. But anyways, a shout out to Play Asia, my sponsor. I'm not banned yet. They haven't banned me yet. I haven't been deplatformed yet. I just bought a statue from Play Asia of the protagonist from Persona 5. Not that expensive, $75, somewhat expensive, but not very expensive. I've seen statues for like $500. I'm not buying any $500 statues. But I bought a statuette, whatever they're called, from Play Asia. I recommend you do the same. There's plenty of merchandise for all sorts of fucking bullshit and revolving around gaming and all that sort of thing, Japanese shit. Go on over to Play Asia, my sponsor, my affiliate. Sorry, not sponsor. Don't ban me. Plastic pussies at J-List. Anyways, yeah. So there's actually a lot going on to this, and I'm considering doing a follow-up, full-blown scripted video to this because I'm very strident in my defense of Alex Jones. I'm standing on this. I am associating myself with him. I don't care if Sandy Hook parents feel bad if they then disown me and they say I'm a bad person because I'm associating myself with Alex Jones, I am associating myself with Alex Jones in defending his right to speak. I think he is a fucking fat buffoon, but I am standing here telling you that I think it was wrong to do what was done in that situation. I think he was colluded against, he was conspired against, he was censored for cynical reasons. This was not about people being offended by him. This was not about any bullshit related to what he said about Sandy Hook or any other shit about trans people. This is about him being censored by people that are either direct competitors, see him as a direct threat in the midterms or in the next election, or otherwise are doing it for political reasons. That's why I think this is being done. Breitbart is going to be next. If you guys want to know who's going to be next, Breitbart's next. Everyone that went after Jones has been going after Breitbart without any fucking consideration to anything. They've been going after Breitbart like it's their sole mission in life. The same people that went after Jones are still going after Breitbart. Breitbart is next. I'm calling it now. Breitbart is next. And they have very much, as far as I can see in terms of their articles, which I read irregularly, they have very much toned down in the years. They're nowhere near as crazy and hyperbolic as InfoWars, as far as I can tell. They say some spicy shit and they commentate a lot, but I haven't seen anything from Breitbart that is what I would consider to be repugnant. Maybe find me an article about trans people or something that I would maybe find repugnant. Maybe it exists. But I haven't really seen anything from Breitbart that is insane in recent memory. Nothing that I can recall. Subject to change says in chat, I'm still a registered Democrat. I can't wait to vote wrong in November. I don't even know who to vote for in November because my congressman, I don't even know if there's anyone running against him currently. I'd have to double check that. I can't remember. And I don't like my representative. He's a Trump supporter, but he appears to be a Machiavellian supporter of Trump, where he sees the paradigm shift and he's shedding his skin and readjusting. So I'm not a real big fan of him because he doesn't really do anything for this area as far as I can tell. And I don't really know what he actually believes. He doesn't really seem to have any strident beliefs. PragerU is too much money backing them. Maybe. I've seen some good videos from PragerU. I've seen videos from people that I like on PragerU, I don't like Dennis Prager necessarily. I don't agree. I've listened to his opinion before when he was talking to Ben Shapiro, and he appears a pretty fucking regressive. Dennis Prager specifically. But he's entitled to his own fucking opinion. I don't think he should be banned from every fucking outlet conceivable just because I disagree with his opinion. So I guess that makes me associated with him too. I guess I'm a bad person for associating with him too as well. But that's what happens when you have actual principles, beyond what the law technically is. And that to me is the real fucking difference maker is, well, it's not technically violating the law, but it should be breaching your principles as someone that defends free speech, shouldn't it? It should be violating that principle if you actually held it. Because I'm a free speech absolutist. I believe that every fucking retard out there, whether I agree with them or not, should have the right to speak. If they actively violate the law, then they can go to fucking court. It has nothing to do with me. It's just like the whole rape thing. I got raped. Why the fuck you telling me? Go tell a cop. What the fuck do you expect me to do about it? Alex Jones just threatened me. Go tell a cop. I don't fucking care. What does it have to do with me? He just defamed me. Go bring him to court. What does it have to do with me? That's my standard. Somebody says something horrible? Great. I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter to me. Especially the whole thing of he incited to violence, which I'm not even going to name the name from earlier, who said it because they were genuine. They misinterpreted something. It wasn't cynical. Even there I had to correct him and say, listen, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. They incited. No, they didn't. Read the fucking case law. And I just cited it at them and said, just read this. You're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. Stop trying to justify this shit. Let's say they did fucking incite the violence. What does it matter? Bring him to court. Fucking have him go to court then. What happened to innocent until proven guilty? I thought that was another principle we agreed to in the liberal West. But all of a sudden, everyone's abandoning their principles because, oh, I don't like Alex Jones. It's pathetic. It's pathetic to me to watch so many fucking people abandon everything that should be their own principles for the sake of let's mass censor someone that I don't like. Up until yesterday, I saw him as a comedian, but now all of a sudden, let's mass ban him from. Let's collude and conspire to mass censor somebody that until yesterday no one took seriously for shit he said over a year ago. Among the things that people can even name as a reason, it's ridiculous to me. I've yet to see any coherent justification for what was done. Not just he was banned from YouTube for shit he did forever ago. I mean, he was conspired against specifically by cynical actors and direct competitors and mass censored off of, what is it, 5, 6, 7 platforms already? Give me the fucking explanation for why I should take that seriously. I'm just asking for that explanation. I have yet to see one that isn't boiled down to, I don't like him. That appears to be the extent of the reasoning for why I should be fine with him being mass censored and conspired against. Seriously, that is all I've fucking seen since this has happened. The extent of what I've seen. It's unbelievable to me, and I don't abide by that. I don't abide by that utterly gutless, ridiculous standard. Anyways, I was just gonna bring up another thing that I might mention if I do a video on this. Let me find this. So this just happened as well. I've seen people citing this, and it's actually a good point. Because of this article, in terms of they bring up the midterms. They bring up the midterms. Very coincidentally, this happened at the end of last month. Facebook removed 2 big accounts, one of them being very big, of a right-wing activist group. And there's another article from, was it earlier this year? It's a Breitbart article. Let me find it. When was it? Yes, earlier this year in April. Facebook banned accounts related to a guy who was running in Brazil as well. So coincidentally, Brazil keeps having their accounts banned, all from the right. They're all being banned. One of them had like 1 million followers, and it's right before the elections in October. They couldn't wait. They waited up until when it counted and then banned them. That's how you know that, well, they didn't break any laws. They didn't break any laws. They're just censoring people that are all coincidentally going one way. Yeah. Somebody just sent me a meme. When you ban the world's most famous conspiracy theorist from your platform after years of him telling people you are involved in a massive conspiracy to kill free speech, thus proving his conspiracy theories to be true one last time, yeah. I'll put this on the screen. Good meme. Let me copy this from DACA here on Twitter and put this up for everyone to see. So yeah, I actually had a bunch of shit saved. Let me dig that up to see what else I can talk about. Let's see here. I don't really have much saved. I didn't really have much time today to get to where I needed to be for this stream, so I'm a bit underprepared, so you have to forgive me. This is actually one of the things that came out that I saw that was funny, because I'm aware of the Sleeping Giants guys. These guys are definitely they have to be connected to David Brock. They are a super, like, hyper establishment organization that just goes around and bullies Breitbart and like other right-wing groups. And before then, they didn't know exactly who was behind the account, and they figured it out. They found out who is behind the account, and it's Matt Ravitz, who's a award-winning ad copywriter in San Francisco. Surprise. Actually, there's my congressman. There's an ad for my congressman right there, Chris Collins. Stop stealing my data, Google. God damn you. So yeah, I thought that was funny to point out. Even though it's technically a doxing, I guess it's not really a doxing because they just released their name. It's not like, and they found it through him revealing it. He revealed it himself. They just disseminated that information. He had it linked on a different account. So they figured that out. But it's one of the things where it was an organization that is likely funded through political funds attached to David Brock and other hyper-establishment organizations that are directly trying to censor people. That is the whole point. Like, they're attacking their advertisers, which by itself, demonetization is not censorship by itself. But the thing is that they have directly said that the reason they're doing this is to get rid of the organization. That is why they're doing it. It's not as though that they specifically have one or two articles for why they justify what they're doing. It's simply cynical politics, real politic. We don't like the information you're spreading around. We don't like your outlet. We're going to take you down. And that's their justification for what they do. So I don't really have any real problem with presenting this article and showing this guy's face because he's a cynical actor. He has no principles. He is a Machiavellian bastard and is doing everything in his power to take down an outlet and censor this outlet for no other reason than the fact that he hates their politics and actively wants the opposition to win. That's his only basis by which he operates. And that's not any kind of principled stance to take. So I thought I would mention this just because this Sleeping Giants is in the news because they were one of the big groups that actively took down Alex Jones. So coincidentally, it was actually very relevant for me to mention these people. Let's see here. I'll delete that article. It doesn't really matter. So in tariff news, this is from early last month, but it's still funny to watch. China's getting fucked as it relates to tariffs, and you can see how viral this went with 27 shares. The Chinese government is ordering its media to not go after the West. I've seen more than one report saying this, but this is something that the EU as well did. They're telling their own media to not hit the United States as hard and basically provoke Trump to order more tariffs against them. So I love the people that say to me still, there's only a few more that still say this to me, that Trump's tariffs are completely useless and tariffs are just a bad thing and we should just cuck ourselves to China. Trump's winning the trade war. He's winning the trade war. Every single fucking time that people immediately knee-jerk react and say tariffs are bad, oh no, not new tariffs, there's a new article that pops up that goes, yeah, Trump's winning the trade war. So I just thought I'd mention that just for laughs because I just find it funny that people still don't understand what's going on here. So here's another article that I had saved. That's kind of a one-off article. But Cuomo is going to win re-election. He is absolutely dominating Cynthia Nixon. He is beating the shit out of her in the polls. And that's to no one's surprise because she's running a joke campaign. Unlike Zephyr Teachout the last time, and Zephyr Teachout has completely gone off the fucking rails. I've lost almost any respect for her. She just went viral for a stupid fucking thing she did with Now This, which is a proxy Brock organization as well for the Democrats. She went on there and basically just made a stupid case for abolishing ICE. And that was her whole thrust.
And I'm sorry, but we need you. One, even if you become the Attorney General of New York, you have no authority over a federal fucking agency. So stay in your lane, Zephyr Teachout. Know your fucking role, Zephyr Teachout. You have no authority over a federal agency. But outside of that, she's completely lost her mind. She's abandoned any intention to be seen as a serious politician. Cynthia Nixon has never not been a joke, and she's going to get blown the fuck out by Andrew Cuomo, who is universally hated in the state. Everyone can't stand him. He has a ridiculously low approval rating in New York, and he is going to win re-election. He's going to kick the shit out of his joke of a competition from the Republican Party, and unfortunately, Larry Sharpe, as a nice guy as he appears to be as a libertarian candidate, he doesn't appear to stand a chance against Cuomo. It's unfortunate, but I think that's the truth. He appears to be, by all accounts, a nice guy. Ideological, for sure. And that's where I disagree with him because I'm not a libertarian. But I don't see him as a joke candidate. I don't see Larry Sharpe as a libertarian candidate. I don't even though I think libertarianism is crazy, I don't consider him to be a joke candidate. He's trying to actually argue policy and make serious arguments in terms of what he believes and what difference he wants to make to New York. He spends a little bit too much time dallying in New York City politics, but he's at least making the attempt. And I think that he deserves credit for that. But unfortunately, Andrew Cuomo's fucking Democratic primary candidate or opponent is a fucking joke. Cynthia Nixon is a joke candidate. I don't say that because she's far left or whatever. It's because she's running a fucking joke of a campaign. She has no policy proposals. She has no serious issues she's tackling. It's identity politics. It's bullshit. It's rhetoric. And it's fucking utopian nonsense. That is her entire fucking campaign. And Andrew Cuomo is going to curb stomp her because of it. You couldn't find a more perfect candidate for him to run against than a utopian, far left New York City dyke. A joke. So, yes, it's incredibly frustrating to me to watch this because I fucking hate Andrew Cuomo. But he's going to win. He's going to win. Excuse me. I don't know what I just said. I really wish that the thing is that I think that when it actually gets to the general election, Andrew Cuomo is going to basically sidesteps the debates as much as possible. Because if Andrew Cuomo goes into a debate, even against the joke Republican candidate that's currently up, he'll still get his ass kicked, I would imagine, assuming that they haven't found the most incompetent fucking barely literate fucking Italian in New York, to run against him. It may be the case in New York, and maybe the New York fucking Republican Party may have found the least literate, inarticulate fucking Italian they could possibly run against Cuomo. It may happen. But if he goes to a debate, he will lose those debates. He is a joke of a politician. He is so wooden that's why I say that I call him Plastic Andy. He is a utterly insincere politician, only matched by someone the likes of like Hillary Clinton. That's how insincere he is. But yeah, it's just a travesty. I really wish that in New York, an actual some way the Libertarian Party in New York can somehow get their shit together to run not a serious candidate necessarily, but a competitive candidate. I don't mean to say that the Libertarians are necessarily a joke, because they very much mean well by all appearances, but they don't have the money and the organization and the infrastructure and all the rest necessary to really run against Cuomo. It would require a shock scandal for someone like Larry Sharpe to win in New York. A shock scandal. That would be something unheard of. Like he was fucking a child or something, and we had video, and they put it on news of him literally sitting there fucking a child on television. That's the only way he fucking loses. That's the kind of scandal that would be required for him to lose. New York is so fucking screwed up in the moment that yeah, good point there, Steven. I retweeted that. So yeah, let me hit Twitter and I'll find some of the articles that I had saved. Another bad news thing that I can mention is that Count Dankula reported today that he lost both of his appeals to the court in Scotland for his Nazi pug video conviction. His lawyers are pretty much, as far as I can tell, doing something that would be arguably a Hail Mary pass in terms of legalese to try to exonerate Dankula. And it's conceivable that that can work, but I don't think that, based on how ridiculous the fucking courts are in Scotland, I don't know if he even stands a chance at that. The fact that the appeals didn't even allow him to have a hearing kind of tells you something, that it's just a kangaroo court and he ought to just flee the fucking country. Scotland is a communist state and he may as well flee while he still has the chance. Let's see what I got here. Apparently there's there's an article from Breitbart about, I have to read this article because I keep seeing this claim that that LinkedIn banned InfoWars, but I haven't seen evidence of that. I've seen his account on LinkedIn, so it didn't come back like discontinued, whatever. I haven't seen evidence to say he was banned from LinkedIn. So MailChimp definitely, but LinkedIn I haven't seen evidence for. I guess I'll do this article here. Let's see here. Article from The Hill. This is from today, that Trump is to hit China with 16 billion tariffs on August 23rd. So Trump has not relented in his increasing of tariffs against China. I'd have to count, like, I wish, maybe it says in this article. Let's see, the first of 34 billion worth went into effect on July 6th. 12 billion that was to the farmers for the soybean bullshit. So I guess so far it's 34 billion. 34 billion is the current amount that it's gone against China, and he's going to do another 16 billion. So the thing with the tariffs, as I've continued to say, is that this is a strategy. This is a strategy from Trump to likely do a few things. One, to stabilize China's impact in the world, to stabilize their economy, put them on notice in terms of our ability in the world to fuck up their economy, which has been very true. If you've seen so far, I've done numerous stories about how just the threat of new tariffs has destabilized the market and has benefited the United States directly. I've done several stories about that, just the threat of him increasing tariffs. The best story being Trump's threat to tariff China for all, whatever it was, $500 billion worth of exports. That was a hilarious fucking story. Let's see. So, okay, so here's a full list that I haven't seen the full evidence for yet. And it's by a guy named Ali Alexander on Twitter. He claims that it's been Facebook, which has been proven, YouTube, which has been proven, Apple, which has been proven, Spotify, which has been proven, Pinterest, which I've seen people say. I haven't specifically seen proof for, but I assume it to be true. LinkedIn, I don't know. I have yet to see evidence. Stitcher, I've yet to see evidence. And MailChimp, I've seen evidence that's true. So that's the full list of what I know of as of 6 hours ago. Alex Jones has been banned from, all within 24 hours. That's been the last 24 hours. InfoWars has been banned from. But don't worry, it's technically not illegal. Don't worry, everybody. Everyone can just take a break, put their feet up, rest easy. It's not illegal, so there's nothing to worry about. Let's see here. Oh yeah, this you have no idea how much this fucking pissed me off from earlier. This fucking article, man. It made me so... I read this morning at like fucking 6 a.m. This pissed me off so badly. And this is where I was tweeting out earlier that I fucking hate the right. I hate conservatives. They're fucking useless. They're just rolling over. This has to be one of the shittiest fucking articles that I've read in a long time. Since that article that I mentioned in my last commentary from the other right-wing Galaxy Brain Intelligentsia, whatever it was about race discrimination in the United States, where all they do in this article is concede the fucking left's arguments. Like, what's the point in calling yourself a conservative if you just concede every one of your opponent's arguments? Like, what's the point in calling yourself a conservative? You might as well be a progressive. If you write a fucking opinion piece from the New York Times where all you do is concede every single one of your opponent's arguments and basically say, like, you prostrate yourself to say, like, well, there's nothing really that I can do here. So blah, blah, blah. I write for the National Review and I think I'm fucking smart. David French is supposed to be a right-wing intelligentsia. How did he garner that label? Can someone who's a conservative explain to me how this fucking faggot has this label? I'm smarter than this guy. I can argue from this shit. But apparently maybe someone needs to nominate me to be the next fucking, American Enterprise Institute fucking woke person. Put me in a $3,000 suit and put me on a panel so I can pontificate about conservatism. Because apparently I can argue better than half the fucking right as it relates to this issue. I don't know what to say. This article's probably going to be the centerpiece. If I do a follow-up video to the one I've already did about Alex Jones, this article is going to be the centerpiece of it. To basically say that Alex Jones has been rendered defenseless because his own side, the right wing, the smartest people of the right, have just rolled over completely and have conceded every single fucking argument from the left. Like, what do you do if you're right wing and your own side just rolls over? What are you supposed to do? It's a private corporation. Blah, 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 blah. Well, that's not a principle. That is not a principle. You don't hold to that. Nobody fucking holds to that principle. Okay, let me put up a sign in my business that says no niggers, no spics, no queers. Oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't run my private business that way. I can't discriminate like that. I can't. I have to bake the fucking cake, at least up until the recent Supreme Court case, which is dismantling everything. There are many ways by which that there are regulation that exists that you can't run your business in a certain way. There's standardization all over business. There's no single way that you can just run your business and hold to that principle. It's false. That's not true. There's all sorts of regulation that says that you must run your business in a certain way. And as such, when you say it's a private business that can do whatever the fuck it wants, no, it can't. No, it can't. So I'll leave it there for right now because, like I said, again, this is from the right. This is from the right. Like, what happens when the right just rolls over and says, well, I guess the left has won. Time to go home, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a super intelligent right-winger, and I'm just going to concede every one of the left wing's arguments. Yeah, I don't know what to say. It's really sad to see. This angered me more than the overall ban. Like, this angered me way more than going back and forth with Mundane Matt and Jeff earlier. I don't think I was angry in any instance that we were debating. But this is one of the things that really angered me from this morning, was the fact that the right wing has basically capitulated. You have Ben Shapiro that's all over the fucking place. I don't even know where he fucking stands on this. He's so all over the fucking place. And you have Galaxy Brain David French here, who's literally just saying, yeah, they're right. They're right to ban him. I can't say anything against it. They're right. Yep. I write for the National Review and people take me seriously. I'm David French. It's like, okay. I guess the corporations rule over us all because they're private and they can do whatever they want, even though that is demonstrably not true. That is demonstrably not true. And anyone with half a brain could immediately debunk the fucking argument. They're a private enterprise. They can do anything they want. Oh, that's true? well, let me just go outside and hang a sign in my business that I don't serve fucking blacks. Oh, wait, that's a federal fucking law. And I have to serve them. I am compelled to serve people, despite the fact that I have a reason not to. As illegitimate as it is to not serve someone who's black, it's still a position some person can hold, and they can't operate their business in that way. So if that is something that exists, then private enterprise can't just do whatever the fuck they want. That isn't a fucking principle anyone actually believes. It is a ridiculous argument. Just because someone is not technically violating the law does not mean that they are violating a principle that we should all be holding to. It doesn't mean that they are very evidently violating their own contract with him as a partner, which is by all appearances what they're doing. No, it's that they can do whatever the fuck they want, even breach contract, because fuck Alex Jones. There's the reasoning behind this article, Mundane Matt, fucking Jeff Holiday, and every other person that I've seen argue this. It's because I don't like Alex Jones, fuck any kind of principle I may hold. That's what this is. And it's pathetic to watch. It's unbelievable to me that so many people who were just dismissing Alex Jones yesterday are now trying to defend the fact that he was colluded against and conspired against and then censored. Unbelievable to watch what people are doing. So let's see. I consider doing a video on this, but I likely won't. There was this amazing story, and actually, I think I was going to make the picture taken of her, of right here, this, because it's such an unbelievable fucking fit of a photo here. So I talked about this in a previous stream, but I'm going to mention it again. I got 10,000 comments on Breitbart. That's how you know I'm viral. So this old Hispanic guy bumped into this woman's kid right here. Picture here. He bumped into her kid. So this chick straight up picked up a piece of cinder block, a piece of concrete, and fucking beat this guy over the head with it until he fell to the ground. Then a bunch of black guys ran up and then proceeded to kick the shit out of this guy. Like literally kicked him as he was down, bleeding from a wound after he was beaten in the head with a slab of concrete. They then kicked the shit out of an old man. You couldn't find a more like California-esque story of racial strife in California, where an old Hispanic man who doesn't speak English bumped into some kid, probably said something in Spanish to this woman. She went, "What, you don't speak English?" And then beat him, like picked up a piece of concrete and bashed him in the head with it. And then a bunch of black guys were like, "Yo, what up?" And then literally kicked him as he was down. He's a 92-year-old man. Can you imagine yourself being like in your 20s or 30s and kicking the shit out of a 92-year-old man because he bumped into some random woman's kid? Holy shit, man. Talk about living in the ghetto. But anyways, the reason why I bring this up, other than this hysterical photo of her with her kid, and I'm glad they censored the kid's face. I saw a photo without the kid's face. I was like, whoa, you need to censor this immediately. You should not have this kid's face in the fucking picture. But this woman's face should definitely be seen, because they ran this story for like 4 straight days without mentioning the fact that it was already known that she was a black woman. They intentionally censored the story. All of the press did it. All of the press did it outside of like places like Breitbart, which is why they're trying to censor Breitbart, because they actually tell you the truth of what happened in this situation. It was a black woman that attacked a Hispanic man for no good goddamn reason by all appearances. I've not seen it updated to say that he physically accosted the child or did anything that was intentionally hostile towards the child. It, by all appearances, appeared to be an accident, and she nearly beat him to death. If you also include the fact that a bunch of fucking random black dudes ran up and kicked the shit out of him after she beat him in the head with a piece of concrete. The press censored this story in order to make it about Trump's America. If you go read the comment sections of the original articles, that's all you see in responses is, this is another day in Trump's America where an old Hispanic man was beaten by some white pickup truck racist. When in fact, no, it was an unhinged black woman who beat the shit out of an old man along with a bunch of black guys for no reason. And I say no reason, meaning the black guys literally, by all appearances, like straight up came out of the woodwork. Saw this woman beating this guy in the head, then just proceeded to kick the guy while he was down. Like, you couldn't parody that shit. Anyways, yeah, I thought I'd mention this again just because they found this photo of her came out, and it's fucking priceless. It's a fucking priceless photo. She's there bellowing with her ugly fat ass at the camera holder while carrying the concrete in her hand that she beat an old man in the head with. This is a priceless fucking photo. And I think I was going to name the stream out of that. I think maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll name the stream like Alex Jones's America, and then I'll have the picture of her holding the concrete block or the chunk of concrete from a cinder block. Because this is the kind of thing the mainstream news wants to censor. This is why they're going after Breitbart. This is why they're going after Alex Jones. This is why they're trying to censor media that is in any way alternative, even though Breitbart, by all appearances, is pretty tame compared to how they used to be pretty fucking crazy. When Milo was there, they were getting pretty fucking crazy. But even then, I never wanted them to be censored. They have incendiary shit, that's nice. Who cares? Is it true or is it false? Can they link to what's true? They can link to what's true. They can tell you what's true. They can report based on other reports what is demonstrably true about a story. Unlike every other fucking major outlet that reported this story, Breitbart didn't censor it. Breitbart didn't censor it. So let's take her name. Let's take LaQuisha Jones, which is what her fucking name is, if it couldn't be any more stereotypical, and let's put in InfoWars. Let's see what we get. Oh, look. Look what you find here. Guess who else reported the truth? Guess who else didn't censor their story to push a narrative and actually told the truth of the given situation? Guess who told the truth? Oh, Jesus, they have video of this guy? Jesus Christ. All right, I gotta stop before I get my fucking channel taken down because of the blood. My God. Again, this guy, they say 91, but he appears to be 92. It's unbelievable to me. But again, like this is one of the reasons. If not for info, where am I supposed to get this story then? Can one of the big brains that say that I'm wrong, that they deserve to be censored? Okay, what about this? Where am I supposed to get this story then? Where am I supposed to get this story? These are the only outlets that actually dug for the truth and found this out. Someone tell me where am I supposed to get this story once InfoWars and Breitbart are censored and they're gone? Where do I get this story from? Where do I get the truth of this situation from? Yeah, does InfoWars lie? Yes. Are they misleading at times? Yes. Do they make shit up and are frivolous and hyperbolic? Yes, yes, yes. They're ridiculous. Where do I get this story from if they're censored? Where do I get it from? Someone tell me. I want an explanation, and I mean that as an honest question. Where do I get these stories from if they're all going to be censored because they're offensive in other stories or they lie in other stories, but this story is demonstrably true and other outlets specifically censored it? Where do I get the story from then? Someone tell me. I'm going to save those two. But yeah, I'm gonna rename the stream when I have the a chance, and I'm gonna put her image in there. And the story of it's gonna be Alex Jones's America. So let me keep going down the list. Oh, here's another stupid fucking story I saw from. I think this is from today. This is such a stupid story. So Wilbur Ross got in trouble recently, and actually, I deleted that link. Let me find. Hold on a sec. Let me find the story. Wilbur Ross divest. Okay, so yeah, Wilbur Ross unfortunately made an error in his part. That's how he would regard it. Many people say he was trying to get away with it, and that's up for you to decide whether he was or wasn't trying to get away with it. But he failed to divest all the holdings that he had, and there were people alleging conflicts of interest in his role as Commerce Secretary. It's right to point out if there are conflicts of interest, and if he was supposed to divest, he should have. So, God fucking damn it. That's why I agree. He should have divested if it was a serious issue and it was an ethical issue, and he did. So, good on the people that found this out about him, and he should have done this in the first place. Whether you want to give him the benefit of the doubt or not is up to you. By all appearances, he is a fucking old as shit man. And maybe he was trying to get away with something. Maybe he wasn't. I can't say. But I'd be willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. Now, onto this story from Forbes. This is nothing more than a character assassination article. And it's heavily promoted by Forbes right now. And all it is fucking all, as far as I can tell, baseless allegations against Ross as Commerce Secretary. Go down the line of everything. None of it actually says what has actually occurred. Nothing has actually been substantiated. Nothing says that he's actually done it. There hasn't been any convictions. There's never been any criminal accusations. There's never been anything other than lawsuits against him in civil court, that one of which he's settled, where there's been an NDA, so no one can actually discuss what's happened as a result of his settlement for whatever the fuck it was, like $300,000. Or what was it? It was $4 million, but he settled for what was the settlement? $4 million was the accusation that he took from somebody. I can't remember what the actual settlement was for, but it was it was way less than $4 million in terms of what he sold for. But the thing is that all this is a character assassination piece. All this does is get into rumors about how he's pocketing sugar or whatever the fuck, the equivalent of, and for coffee. He pockets, coffee, sugar equivalent, Splenda, because he's so cheap. He's such a miser. He's such a piece of shit. Oh, don't look at his face. Don't you hate him? Scream at him because he's a miser. He's an old miserly man. And it's like, who gives a shit if he's pocketing sugar like every other cheapskate billionaire is doing, or multimillionaire? Who cares? What does it matter that he does that? And he denied it. He flat out, actually, his spokesman denied the fact that he pockets sugar from businesses by saying that they accuse that he does like Splenda or some equivalent, and then they basically said, one, he doesn't do that. Two, he doesn't even have that in his coffee. Like, they specifically had to go the extra length to say he doesn't put Splenda in his coffee. He uses actual sugar. They went that far to say that that's not what he does because it's such a stupid, baseless accusation against him. So why do they do this? Why do they do this? Why is this article here? What is the whole point of them attacking him in this sense? Why? Tariffs. Boom. The end of story. That's why. Tariffs. Only reason. That's my answer why they're doing it. And I'm just leaving it there. You want to know why they're doing this? Tariffs. That's the singular reason why they did this article. And we can just move on from it. Let me close out some of these articles. Oh, fuck. There we go. All right. Ooh, I'll retweet this anime baber here. I'll post this. I just tweeted this out. People calling me a weed. There's no evidence of that. Oh, what the fuck? There we go. Let me get that on the big screen. Look at that. There's a shooter that just came out that's like it looks kind of lame, but it's like a zombie shooter with anime girls with waifus. So yeah, what I like in this is the breast shot, but also the very slight. Let me move over the slight panty shot at the bottom, including I like the expended shells that are ejecting. I like that as well. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be blood. These two beads right here. But yeah, I like the little cut right here and the couple of drops of blood. This is a very high def photo. I like it. Oh, she got a little cut here too. Very cute photo for an action scene. So yeah, I'll leave that on screen until we move on to the next article. So here's another good article. Let me I'm going to save this article as well. I should make sure I keep these articles handy for the video that I might do. It's amazing because Matt Drudge, who I don't really know much about, like I don't pay much attention at all to is it the Drudge Report? Drudge Report, yeah. I don't pay much attention to the Drudge Report. I don't follow them. I know who Matt Drudge is. He's apparently like a reclusive conservative mediaite who's like super, old tech. Like he's not on like social media other than like Twitter, I think. He's reclusive. He's kind of an oddball and that sort. But apparently he's one of the people that called this. And I've yet to watch this video of his interview with Alex Jones. But he said that this is one of the things that he was worried about years back. And that he thinks that this is all going to eventually come to the fore. And that's just become a real problem. And he tweeted this out all day yesterday on his outlet of Drudge Report. That this occurred, the censorship happened, and you can't really blame him since he was the one that originally called it. And there was an article, there's a big article on InfoWars about this as well, but I'm just showing the Breitbart one, that apparently Matt Drudge called this years in advance. It's one of the reasons why he stayed away from Google and all the rest. And there's people arguing in favor of that Silicon Valley is operating a racket. And so here's this article from Alan Bakari, who is, again, like if people want to broad brush InfoWars and Breitbart, there are people on Breitbart and InfoWars that I respect. Like I like Paul Joseph Watson. He can be disingenuous every now and then, but I like Paul Joseph Watson. And I don't believe that you can just say, oh, Alex Jones is InfoWars and InfoWars is Alex Jones. There's far more than just one person on InfoWars. And I absolutely will stand and defend Paul Joseph Watson if he is censored. I don't give a shit if anyone wants to say, well, I don't like Paul Joseph Watson. Well, then fuck you. Fuck you if you don't like Paul Joseph Watson and you think that that's enough to censor him. Fuck you. I like Paul Joseph Watson. I want to meet Paul Joseph Watson. I want to shake Paul Joseph Watson's hand, say, I watch your content. Sometimes I agree, sometimes I don't. But I like your content. I like your spicy takes. I like your Twitter presence. I like the fact that you try to intelligently analyze things. You know, I think that people dismiss him and disregard him to their own peril. I think that Paul Joseph Watson is someone worth listening to, even if you disagree with him. And if you want to censor him, fuck you. That is my official position on the censorship of Paul Joseph Watson, because he's also on InfoWars. And if you're going to censor InfoWars, you're going to censor him, and fuck you for that. So yeah. Anyways, Alan Bakari wrote about this, and there's a lot of people arguing this, and I can't speak to this either way. I know that I've said that I believe I have said that by all appearances, especially in the cell phones, as it relates to Gab, them being banned off of Apple and Google products, they have been effectively banned off of all cell phones. You can download the app, and I have on your cell phone, but it's not through the Play Store, and it won't update. You have to go through a whole rigmarole to try to get the fucking thing to update, and it's very inconvenient. They have been censored by basically, you can't get them on iPhone as far as I know. and you can only get them at a limited state on Android phones. So Gab has, in effect, been completely deplatformed from all cell phones. You have to go out of your way to just download the app on a cell phone or smartphone. That is an effective monopoly. That is 100% of the market. I think that Gab has a very substantive legal case to argue for antitrust and anti-competitive legislation or action from the Justice Department against Apple and Google. I think they have a decent case for that being an effective monopoly or duopoly, being that it's from two outlets, but in effect, they control the entire market. In terms of Gab, there's a very substantive case to say that it is an actual trust issue. And I say that understanding the issue of how, like, what the actual definition of trust is, what a monopoly actually is. Like, there are specific parameters that are laid out to be an effective trust. I think in this case, Gab has a very real argument for that as it relates to them being censored off of cell phones, smartphones, specifically for misinformation and them being an active competitor to Twitter. And that, to me, is the reason why they were censored, was because they're an active competitor to Twitter, and Twitter is in the fold. Twitter is in the fold, as we all know, in terms of social justice in Silicon Valley and fucking the Bay Area moral majority. Which is, by the way, if anyone wants to start using that, feel free to use it. Anyone listening to this, if you want to start using my coin term, Bay Area moral majority, to describe the people that are actively trying to censor everyone that's not them, feel free to use it, because that is an accurate descriptor of who they are. They are the new moral majority, as they once were in Reagan's era. They are the new moral majority, the Bay Area moral majority. That's who they are. They act in the same way. They are moral authoritarians. They are censors. And they are the moral majority, but that's the joke. The moral majority was never the majority. That's the joke of the moral majority. But that's the name. And that's why I consider that to be an accurate descriptor, because they're parallel to them in every way. They're authoritarian, they're censorious, they're disingenuous, liars, and Machiavellian scheming cocksuckers. They're only pursuing their own end. They don't give a shit about anything else. And fuck them. So, yeah. This article is, if you want to read an opinion on regulation, again, I'm not even endorsing this in terms of what just happened. I'm not even endorsing this. I'm just offering you the opinion that exists. Here's an article from Paul Joseph Watson. I don't really need to show that. Here's an article I haven't read about Koreans that like Trump. I'm going to watch that later. It's from Reuters. I'm going to watch that later. South Koreans that love Trump. It's hilarious. I'll watch it later. There's Japanese people, too, that really love Trump. It's hilarious. I need to head over to Japan and find, like, some, ex-idols that are, like, right-wing. Come over there as a fucking ultra-Western with a, come over as the ultra-Western male with my Make America Great Again hat. Score that right-wing Japanese pussy. Or South Korean. I'm not picky. Yeah, I can just unfollow, like that. I don't need to save that. This was a weird story that I guess I can mention from the Daily Caller. Let me put that on screen. Apparently, Wikipedia editors, which are biased as shit already, are actively trying to censor people talking about Sarah Young's, I believe it said, racist tweets on her Wikipedia page, which is actually very relevant to the controversy around her being hired at the New York Times. This is a major current event story. Her being hired at the New York Times, the New York Times being well aware of the fact that she is an out-and-out fucking racist. And them going, yeah, we know she's a racist, but whatever. What are you going to do, man? And basically there's activist Wikipedia editors trying to censor the fact that she is a fucking self-described and self-defined fucking racist. Like, can you be more evident? I mean, some of her, they don't have her tweets here, But she has a couple, man, that are like, those are some spicy fucking takes. Those takes are just, you cannot describe them than anything other than palpable bigotry, palpable hatred for people. They are fucking crazy. So yeah, and she plays him off like, oh, I'm just regurgitating what other people have said to me. It's like, sure. I mean, that's the thing that I do. When people, like, if I ever had a black person that says, I don't like you, white boy, I just naturally knee-jerk react and send out on Twitter with no context and no reference going, fuck niggers, I hate niggers. That's how you know I'm not a racist, is when some person who's black says it's racist, I naturally react and say something racist back to them. That's how you know I'm not a racist. What a pathetic fucking argument. I'm not a racist. That's why I made a bunch of racist tweets with no context included to them, because someone said something racist to me. Oh, man. Oh, here's a fucking article. Here's a juicy article from fucking Reuters. I'm just going to leave it at the headline. Ready? Trump says tariffs are working. U.S. and China are talking. So, again, the whole point of the tariffs is to get China to the table on their back heel. That's the entire fucking purpose of the tariffs. You get China to the table to negotiate. They're already on the back heel. They come to the table ready to make concessions. That is the point of all of this. So, you know, I don't know what people want out of this. It's like, that's the whole fucking point of them. Oh, here's a good story. Here's a good news story. I mentioned this on Twitter the other day, but this is a good-hearted, good felt story, unless he does something crazy or fucks a staffer or something. Kane, I guess he's former wrestler, but I've seen somewhere that he's supposedly still wrestling. But I'll just say, for the sake of argument, that he's former wrestler. He's retired wrestler. His name is Glenn Jacobs, and he is now the mayor of Knoxville County, Tennessee. And he just won. He just won his election, and he's now the mayor of Knoxville, Tennessee. So congratulations to Glenn Jacobs. He's a Republican, but he's a libertarian as far as I know. He's actually a libertarian. But he ran as a Republican and won. So he's now the mayor of Knoxville, Tennessee. So congratulations to him and his victory. Maybe he believes a ton of things I disagree with, but who gives a shit? Congratulations to him. He said in his acceptance speech or his victory speech that people laughed at him and derided him and slandered him. And he really didn't like that. He really didn't like the fact that people made fun of him for being a wrestler. And he basically showed all of them, and now he's the mayor. And and congratulations to him. It's well deserved. He ran a fair election. He fucking won. So props to him. Tip of the hat to him. People talk shit about him. Guess what? Doesn't matter if people talk shit. If you fucking win, that's all that matters. So fuck all the people that said shit about him running, and congratulations to his honor, Mayor Glenn Jacobs in Knoxville County, Tennessee, for his victory. So that's the feel-good story probably of the night. Here's an article on... I don't really want to talk about the stupid fucking chick who got hired. I guess this is an article that references all the shit she said, or at least some of the shit. Let's take a look and let's see if we can find... and by the way, again, another story. If InfoWars didn't report on this story of her being a fucking insane racist. Okay, that's not the super spicy one. Where's the super spicy one? The underground goblins. Okay, so here's one of the spicy takes. Are white people genetically predisposed to burn faster in the sun, thus logically being only fit to live underground like groveling goblins? I have graphs, and it says we should address the data head on. Whiteness, awful. So this is a directly racist statement. There is no way to construe this other than you being a fucking racist. So I'm awful simply because I am white, and I'm a pureblood white. There's some retards that contest that, who say that because I'm some percentage Irish that I'm not technically fully white. but I am in fact heavily majority English, and as far as I'm aware, English is the most white. But I am a full-blooded white, and according to her, that's what makes me awful. That's what makes me inherently awful. I can't control the fact that I smell like a dog when I'm wet, and that I'm an awful person simply because I have a certain skin pigmentation, which is something that I would in no way ever say about her. If she didn't look like a she-twink bull dyke, I would probably be hitting on her. But I'm not going to hit on her because not only is she in some ways ugly on the outside, but she is heavily ugly in the inside. She is an ugly fucking person and a fucking racist. Fuck her. You won't hear me calling for her to be fired. I just have a question as to why she's being hired by the New York Times, which would fire and has fired racists in the past, alleged racists. They have done that in the past. But for whatever reason, they're not going to fight this racist right here. This is the one that got me. This is the crazy fucking woke take that she offered. It's kind of sick how much joy I get from being cruel to old white men. That is fucking sociopathic. And again, that is palpable hatred, race hatred. If you heard that from anyone saying, I get joy from being mean to the old Hispanic man that got his face caved in by a cinder block, or old black guys, like that one guy who got murdered on Facebook Live, some random old guy that got killed by some other random black guy on Facebook Live. If you laugh and say, oh man, I love watching that old, I think it was a veteran, die from some random shooter. I get joy from that, watching black people die. You're a fucking racist and a deranged racist. You are a deranged racist with palpable rage towards others for simply having a different skin pigmentation to you. You are a fucking lunatic. Notice I didn't call for her to be fired. Not that hard. Not that hard to hold to that principle. Not that hard. I know that for some people it's really hard to be consistent. But I don't have a problem with that. I love they throw this in for kicks. The fucking New Hampshire bullshit of them saying, like, people within the state basically going, yeah, our state is too white. It's like, okay, go ahead and import half of Buffalo, which is currently having a violence. Oh, let's find an article. Buffalo violence. Holy shit, I saw... Bro, is this from earlier? Was this from earlier? Okay, no, this is from yesterday. Or, yeah, this is from yesterday. I think I saw this cop earlier. This cop looks very familiar. I went by a crime scene earlier, and this cop looks very fucking familiar. Apparently, there's two blonde, somewhat heavy-set cops in Buffalo. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. This is the fucking shootings. This has been one of the most violent fucking times in Buffalo in recent memory. It's like, okay, fucking New Hampshire is so fucking white. There's so many problems with people that are white in New Hampshire. It's like, okay, then go ahead and import Buffalo. You can have Buffalo. You can have Buffalo. You can inherit the problem Buffalo currently has and has absolutely no solution to. And it is a majority black city. Where this is happening are heavily non-white areas of fucking Buffalo. I was just in this area earlier, and it is sketchy as shit. Every time I go to Buffalo, every time I go, I'm convinced more and more and more that I need to be concealed carry. Every single time I have a case in Buffalo, I am more and more frightened and paranoid that I'm going to get fucking shot and killed. Because we have a fucking violence epidemic in the fucking city right now. Every fucking day there's a shooting. Every other day there's a murder. There was some woman in her truck where she was shot to death with her kids in the car. Like 3 of her kids were in the car. She was shot to death. It was a big story, and they went to the mayor. They went to Byron Brown, who's the mayor, and they're like, "Yo, Byron Brown, There's fucking shootings everywhere and violence all over the city. What the fuck are we gonna do? And he was just sitting there like, nigga, I have no idea. Obviously, he didn't say that, but that like, if he would not be so politically austere and so polished as a politician, if he was street Byron Brown, that would be his answer. His actual answer is, bro, I have no idea what the fuck I'm gonna do. Like, dude, like, I'm not even gonna. I hate the fucking. I have ad block off, and it's still censoring me on my actual. Okay, whatever. I'm sorry, I can't link this account, or I guess I'll have to save it somewhere because I can't. I'm trying to link it, but I have that bullshit set up where they do it specifically so you can't archive it. All right, fuck the Buffalo News. If you want to go read the fucking story, you go find it. Fuck the Buffalo News and their bullshit. I'm trying to save it as a link and I can't. Fucking Buffalo News and their shit. Here's a thing from August 1st about Biden. Who gives a shit? No. This is one of the funniest stories from the end of last month of Jim Acosta going like, it's a new day in America. Ooh, look at how many shares this shit got, dude. Almost 20,000 shares from just The Hill. There's a small group of people that read The Hill, trust me. Fucking Jim Acosta. Ooh, Donald Trump. Donald Trump is being so mean to the press. Oh, Donald Trump is so mean. Oh, somebody flipped me off. Watch the video. Somebody flipped me off. And this is Trump's America. Trump's America. Fuck me. That guy's shirt. Look at that guy's shit-eating grin. Oh, that guy's great. Stop lying. Yeah, look at that one. Fuck you. See, when I see, this is the whole thing. This is the whole thing, okay? Let me, did she flip him off again? Let's scroll back to, okay, right there. Okay, so here's a freeze frame, okay? This boomer, I think she's a boomer, flipping off Jim Acosta and the CNN cameraman, okay? I don't have a fucking problem with her doing that. I don't give a shit that a random boomer is flipping off a dipshit, cynical journalist who, by the way, Jim Acosta is a fucking piece of shit. Jim Acosta is like, I've already talked about this story before. Let me, Singapore. Let's do InfoWars. Let's do InfoWars. Yeah, so in the middle of the peace negotiations at Singapore, as Donald Trump was signing the agreement, it happened more than just in that instance. He was caught on tape a few different times yelling at Trump and Kim Jong-il, excuse me. Jim Acosta went to Singapore and just started screaming shit at Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un. Just screaming random questions, screaming shit at them. Just like heckling them. As he was heckling them, later in the evening, I don't know if they have it here. Was it deleted? I know they caught him on take somewhere. They didn't link it here. It doesn't look like, but there's a video. I listened to the video of him on a hot mic where he flat out said, someone asked him, hey, I heard you doing that earlier. And he basically goes, yeah, I'm definitely, he said something like, yeah, I did it. And I'll do it again because my voice needs to be heard. Something like that. Like, it was all about him. He was heckling for the sake of himself. And that was it. He admitted on an open mic that was why he was doing it. So this is a self-interested jerk off who is trying to sabotage directly, face-to-face, himself, first person, sabotage a peace accord for his own fucking heavily inflated fucking ego. Jim Acosta is an indefensible prick. And he would be someone that I may defend being fired. I think that maybe my line is trying to intentionally sabotage peace negotiations between a nuclear power and a lunatic nuclear power, an irrational, was it not irrational? Is it irrational actor? Is that the actual term for? Yeah, I think it is irrational actor in terms of geopolitics. They're not someone that is they're not like Russia in terms of nuclear capability. We already trust Russia to not just arbitrarily nuke someone. That is not said of especially nations like Pakistan, but especially North Korea. They, by all appearances, are irrational as shit and not trustworthy in the least. So when they come to the table, are making tons of concessions and have so far, as far as I know, have continued to follow through in large part with what they've agreed upon. This is the kind of shit you don't try to sabotage for the sake of your own ego. And maybe that's how you lose your fucking job. If journalism had any ethics whatsoever, but what do I know? I don't call for mass censorship of people. I don't really know. I already know that journalists and journalism in general has no ethical standards at all. None at all. So what the fuck do I know, But yeah, I don't give a shit that this fucking boomer flipped off. What I love is this guy right here laughing his ass off. That's me. That's me. I don't give a shit that this woman is flipping off the fucking cameraman and Jim Acosta. I do not care. I don't care if people are gauche. I don't care if people are impolite or rude or profane or vulgar. I don't fucking care. The only standard that I hold that offends me morally are the drag fucking people. Drag queens and people involved in drag culture that try to force that shit on kids. I find that to be disgusting and immoral and profane. But that's because you're trying to sexualize kids and force sex on the kids. And I don't believe for a second that those fucking lunatic activists, drag queens that are propagandizing the kids aren't fucking pedophiles. I don't believe for a second that they're not also fucking pedophiles. Let's put a kid on a stage in a skimpy dress and pimp him out to a live audience of fucking lunatic sex activists. No, they're in no way fucking pedophiles. For sure. They're obsessed with sex, not pedophiles. It's not. I was about to say, I tweeted this out the other day. Oh, actually, where's that story? Holy shit, I just remembered. Let me find that fucking story. I found a fucking bombshell story the other day about lesbians. Let me change. Get rid of this stupid story. Go from this anime babe placeholder to everything censored to this placeholder. While I'm looking. Let's see here. I can't find the fucking article. Am I going to have to look this up? I tweeted it out the other day and I couldn't fucking believe it was real, but it is a real story. I had to go through all like the pictures I favorite. Okay, I can't find the article in my favorites. I see a lot of fucking 2D girls, but I don't see the story that I'm looking for. Should probably refresh this. Let me while you're looking at the girl, I'll just look it up on my own end. Oh, this is not. I'm getting Pornhub links. This isn't helping. This is oh, God. Porn teen. Good thing I didn't put this on screen. I'm getting fucking Pornhub links. Oh man. Oh, come on. Are you telling me I can't fucking find this video? Oh, come on. I can't find it. Oh, did I find it? Oh, this isn't the new story, but here's an old story. So here's an old story. I'm going to use this one instead. There was a new story that had this, and it's still true to this day. Okay, I want you. So this is not the story, but this is an old version of it. But this is the same thing is still true today. Okay, someone needs to fucking explain to me how lesbians have a higher chance of, especially teens. Okay, lesbian teens have a higher chance of pregnancy than fucking straights. So straight women have a lower chance of getting pregnant as a teenager than fucking lesbians. Fucking explain it. I wish I could have found that fucking article. Because it's an insane. This is Reuters. This is Reuters reporting on it. I think it was the other one was the Daily Mail. And this again, that was a new study, so it's still true to this day. Lesbian teens, are more likely on average to get pregnant than straight girls. Someone fucking explain that to me. Too much hand-holding. The thing is that I already know the answer, right? I already know the answer, and I said this on Twitter. There is a very clear answer to this. Studies have already proven that gay people, in general, it appears, lesbians and gays, I can't speak to bisexuals in terms of the statistics, but I know for a fact lesbians and gays, it's true. Lesbians and gays, on average, are statistically more promiscuous than straight people. That is statistically true. On average, it's a stereotype of gays and less so lesbians, but especially gay men. It's true. It's true. They are more promiscuous. So I don't know what to say. I mean, the problem is that people like myself just can't get laid enough. I think that's the problem. I can't even impregnate a fucking girl. Meanwhile, lesbians are getting impregnated somehow. I mean, that just makes me a sad sack fucking forever alone living meme. I can't even impregnate a fucking lesbian. That's how beta I am. Okay. Let me refresh this, and I'll see if there's any more stories on my end. Oh yeah. I'll mention this briefly. I was questioning whether I wanted to do this, include this fucking anywhere. But I saw Jeremy from the Quartering, the guy that got attacked, for those of you that sort of somewhat recognize the name but may not know Jeremy. He was just attacked at Gen Con. I actually covered this in my last video, and there's already backlash to this, and this is what Jeremy covered. So the next CW show for DC is going to be about Batwoman or Batgirl. And they hired this specifically lesbian actress to play the role for whatever progressive fucking reason. And there's a whole bunch of fucking progressives running around screaming about how this isn't good enough. Apparently this was trending at some point. But apparently there's a ton of people saying, yeah, right here, because there's people are here complaining, some with a lot of fucking favorites in that. People are basically saying that this isn't good enough. It's not good enough representation. It won't go broke at the end of this. Yeah, it's just, I said it. It's never enough. That was my whole point in the last commentary. Not the last commentary, but the last Patreon video I put up. This is my whole point. Nothing's ever good enough. These people clamor and clamor and clamor, and they bend the knee. And guess what? It's never fucking enough. People are already complaining about it with here's the one with almost 1,000 likes. Demanding more. So you bent the knee, you gave them what they want. It's never fucking good enough. Why are you bothering? This is what happens when you bend the knee to social justice and never fucking ends. You will be perpetually hounded and forever told what to do. Okay, here's an article from the Daily Caller. And it is Democratic Senator Chris Murphy, who has been on Fox News more than a few times, I believe. He's calling for the continued censorship of more than just Alex Jones. Such as saying InfoWars is just the tip of a giant iceberg of hate and lies that uses sites like Facebook and YouTube to tear our nation apart. These companies must do more to take down one. They must do more than take down one website. The survival of our democracy depends on it. So, for those of you saying I hate Alex Jones, blah 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 blah, I'm actually not a total fucking hypocrite retard. Guess what? Here's an active sitting senator who is saying that he is actively calling for these companies, the same ones that just banned Alex Jones, to keep going. To not specifically stop with Alex Jones. So when I say it's not going to stop with Alex Jones, and when everyone else says it, that is demonstrably true. The same people that got him censored are calling for this to continue. And he has 9,000 favorites, 16, did he get ratioed on this? Whatever. He's got a lot of people supporting him. There's a lot of people that feel the same way, and they're in government. This is not a powerless person. This is someone in government calling for people that are his opposition to be specifically censored. So you better wake the fuck up if you think this is going to stop with just him. You're either a liar or an idiot if you believe that. I guess I can cite this just for the sake of doing it. Here's a story that went somewhat viral from the end of the month, where the Department of Justice and the Labor Department are going to target companies, at least in terms of their own rhetoric. They're saying they're going to start targeting companies that are employing foreign workers and are, in their opinion, discriminating against Americans by doing so. So these are going to be people that rely on work visas, I imagine. Yeah. Favor temporary visa holders over U.S. workers. So I, as a U.S. citizen, stand by this, and I have every right to do so in terms of pursuing my own self-interest. I want someone to argue that I should be in favor of foreign nationals being preferred over American citizens. Make the argument. Change my mind. Change my mind that Americans shouldn't be preferred. That's how you get people out of the trailers. That's how you get people out of the ghetto. It's how you actually help American citizens get back to work, get off of fucking being addicted to heroin or being suicidal. You get them in a workplace. You have money in their pocket, and have them having a fulfilled life, doing well in a position where they are personally fulfilled and have money in their pocket. Trump said that he's going to put America first. This is one of the, at least in rhetoric, he's arguing that this is what the Justice Department is going to do. His Justice Department is going to start fighting for. Give me the counter argument. Just give it to me. I'm an American citizen. I think I should be preferred over a foreign national by my government. Maybe that's stupid of me to think. Maybe my government should represent foreign nationals more than they do me. I don't know. Someone explain it to me. Here's another story from the other day. This got a decent amount of press attention because it went back and forth for a little bit. I'm not really sure how much merit there actually is to this, of whether the Koch brothers are. I know that Koch brothers are. They have been seen contributing directly to Democratic campaigns, but I don't know if they are just doing Democratic campaigns. It doesn't need to be completely fucking partisan. So the Koch brothers are slippery, self-interested cocksuckers, or cokesuckers in the case of their name. I don't like the Koch brothers. I really don't like them. They are the worst kind of internationalist, billionaire, self-interested sellouts who don't give a goddamn about this nation whatsoever. And if they could sell all of us to China to be their slaves for the rest of time until our dying day, they would do so for a single dollar more. They are the worst kind of uber, like hyper objectivist sort of right winger. I know that people might push back on that, but that's my viewpoint. They are hyper objectivist. they see self-interest as moral, and so they are pursuing it. And so me objecting to anything to them is moot, because they're doing what's moral, which is simply pursuing their own self-interest. Fuck everyone else, fuck their employees, fuck America, fuck everything, fuck everyone but them and their bottom line. That appears to be how they operate. And you can't say that for a lot of other... I've seen a bunch of other kind of millionaires, like the... what's that ice cream company that has the two the people that liked Bernie Sanders? I forget the name of them. They don't appear to be that same way. They appear to be partisan and stupid, but they don't appear to be total fucking hacks, total whack job objectivist sellouts that don't give a goddamn about the nation. They might be utopian, but you know, I don't think that they're I don't think that they don't give a goddamn about the country, based on what I've seen of them. Ben and Jerry, thank you. Whereas with the Koch brothers, yeah, by all appearances, they don't give a fuck about this country. And that's why they hate Trump. They hate Trump because he's pursuing a policy that directly opposes their self-interest. And that's why they hate him. If he was out there begging for money and doing what they wanted, they love him. They'd suck his dick every fucking day of the week. But because he's not doing that, and he's basically saying that he called them a total joke and saying he doesn't need their fucking money, defending his own policies and saying that he said, quote, "I made them richer through his own policies." But it's likely because of immigration. That's probably why they hate him. It's a variety of reasons, I would imagine. But it's probably the big one is immigration, because they rely on cheap labor. And they figured they own the Republican Party. And Trump came in and fucked them. Oh, I found the article. Here it is. It's LifeSite News, not the Daily Mail. So I'll save that. It got 10,000 likes. Oh, man. From the guy... Oh, no, this is a different guy that posted it. Look at those stats. Hold on, let me bring this on screen. Look at those fucking... Dude, look at those fucking stats. Look at those fucking stats. Oh my fucking... It is true for bisexuals as well. What the fuck? Just, what are these fucking stats, dude? Anyways, we'll move on. Oh, man. I disavow these stats. I disavow lesbianism. I am giving up on Yuri. I'm giving up on lesbianism. I'm forgoing it now. I'm throwing in the towel. I'm done with it. Every lesbian in the country is getting fucking pregnant by a man, and they are breaking the fucking ideal, god damn it. This is breaking my fucking ideal. This is shattering me. This is shattering my ideal of lesbianism. God damn it. Why are there so many lesbians getting knocked up? God damn it, stop fucking men. Oh, man. What a fucking story. Those statistics, dude. Let me check the chat, because those statistics are fucking nuts. I better not be the only one that is looking at that and going, what the fuck? Where can I sign up to impregnate lesbians? Lesbians, as the Japanese would say. Let's continue on. Go back to the placeholder, because we've already gone through these. Okay, we already talked about Trump. Did I miss anything? Oh, yeah, I'll report this real quick. So I already reported this all over Twitter, but I don't believe I've said this on YouTube. That just the other day, this happened the other day on the 31st. Trump was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna up the fucking." Oh no, this was they changed. They went from 15 million tariffs to 30 million tariffs, and then enacted them. So, oh no, this is the new threat. This is the new threat. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up. So they went from 10% on 200 billion in Chinese imports to 25%, which is a major increase in terms of a tariff on $200 billion in Chinese imported goods. And because of that, the dollar shot up in the market, and the the yen, the Chinese yen dropped. What is it? What was the percentage? It wasn't a major amount. I forgot. What was it? Whatever. It dropped a certain amount, and the euro didn't really change. But I just thought this was a funny story because it's just like, yeah, guess what? Guess what, bitch? We're up in the fucking tariffs. And it's like, oh, God. And then the fucking dollar shoots up because we're the hegemon of the world, and the Chinese yen drops because they fucking rely on us completely. Oh, man. You know what's going to be hilarious is if the EU dissolves and falls apart, and then it's going to be like, guess what, bitch? Now you rely on us even more. Because now they'll have to renegotiate all the fucking trade agreements with all the different nations, and that will disempower them completely. They'll think that that'll actually empower, but then you have to actually contend with nations on an individual basis where populist politics is on the rise in every one of those nations. So good luck, assholes. Good luck getting a better deal from the Italians or anyone else, the Polish or anyone else, with populist governments running their fucking country. Good luck getting a good deal in Hungary without the fucking EU coming to bat for you. So, in my opinion, if the EU breaks up, the Chinese actually stand to lose more than Europe. That's my opinion of the matter. It'll definitely help the United States. I'll be laughing for a solid week straight if that happens. If the EU broke up, because it would just gut China even more. It would put us in even firmer position to fuck them and demand more of them. So yeah, that's, oh fuck, did I just click off? Hang on, let me save that story real quick before I forget. So let me see here. As I scroll through, let me I'll find a new placeholder image. Is this pretty good? Yeah, this is a pretty good one. We'll do this one. Pickbot is the account I follow on Twitter for all of these, and they used to be pretty like laid back. Like they weren't really like lewd or whatever, but they've gotten increasingly lewd, and I like that about them. They seem to be fully endorsing the fan service, and I enjoy it. So let me get rid of the old pick, and now you'll have the new pick as I look for a different story. I don't really want to cover the stupid story about the Hollywood Walk of his Trump star got vandalized, and now they're going to get rid of it in Hollywood. It's stupid. I don't want to cover that. I don't even remember saving this article, but I might check it out just to see. I think, let's see here. I don't remember if I talked about this or not, but I'll talk about this in a second here. Let me see if there's anything else. That might be it. Let me see here. Apologies for let me check out chat. I'll answer something in chat real quick. Fuck the EU. Drop China. Trade with Korea. Nippon. Sure. Build the wall. The first porn I ever saw was hentai. Well, that's not true for me. I can't say that. Let's see here. Sweden rolling over. Blah, blah, blah. Fuck China. Whoops. Dropping that. It's almost like America's economic power is equivalent to our military power. That's the fact, dude. We are the hegemon of the world, and I've already said it before. Hegemony or hegemony is defined by diplomacy, which is your alliances in the world; military, which is bases and the size of your military and the strength of it, and the application of it, how in the mobilization, how fast you can deploy it. So military diplomacy, economy, which is trade deals, trade, and the strength of your import economy and also export. It's both are a sign of strength, and it requires both in some extent, but import is definitely a heavy amount of strength because everyone then wants to trade with you. If you have all the money in the world to buy other people's shit, that gives you an intense amount of power in the world. And that's how we have that power. It's not just through exports, which we're fairly weak on at the moment. It's imports. That's what we're strongest in. So anyways, diplomacy, economy, military, cultural. That's the other one. So cultural is the one that I think we are currently losing on. Hollywood used to have a massive effect in the world. If you look at anime in Japan, we're actually one of the factors of why that now exists. At least based on my understanding of the history, one of the reasons why the animation is the way it is now is because of our own input to Japanese culture. So that is Western influence on Japanese culture. There's also many other instances of English words being used by Japanese people in mid-sentence. That's our influence on them culturally. There's many instances in many other, like if you go to Russia, you go to Poland, you go to anywhere in the world, you are going to hear people speaking English. You're going to hear people listening to different albums of artists that are American. You are going to see what was English musicians such as the Beatles come to America for their own success and then be propelled across the world to become worldwide phenomena. That's through the strength of American cultural power. It once was that we were completely fucking unparalleled until in terms of our cultural dominance in the world. The reason why there's golf in Japan is because of us. It's a Scottish invention. We're the ones that popularized it in the world, not the Scottish. We did that. America did. We're now intensely waning in terms of cultural power in the world. And I will fully admit that. I will not pretend as though that we have not severely waned in terms of cultural influence. You know why? Because this is what's on your screen right now. This is Japanese cultural influence over the United States. The more Japanese games Americans buy, the more Japanese anime and movies and whatever else that Americans watch, Canadians watch, Westerners watch, the more cultural influence the Japanese as a nation have over the West. From a detached perspective, that is not a good thing. It's not good to have foreign countries have this kind of influence over another. From my perspective, as someone who is pro-American hegemony, I want total American influence over every other nation on Earth. I don't want there to even be a question to the fact that America is the dominant cultural entity on Earth. Every nation on Earth should be listening to American media, every single one. That is my perspective. Being that our movie market is falling apart, Hollywood's falling apart, that's demonstrable. The video game industry is in large part falling apart. That is demonstrable. Comic books is falling apart utterly. That is unquestionable that has happened. All of the major venues that once existed for America to exert our cultural influence in the world, even music, in large part, not entirely. Maybe music is the strongest out of all of them. But every outlet for Western media is simultaneously faltering. Some are collapsing entirely, but others are faltering. And that is not a good thing. That is not a good sign for American influence in the world. Because that is one of the factors of hegemony in the world. That is one of the factors. Cultural influence and cultural dominance in the world is a significant, what would be the word? It is one of the requirements. There's another word that I could use, but I can't, it's not coming to mind. It is a requirement for hegemony in the world. If you want to be the hegemon of the world, of which it's a unipolar world, meaning one political actor that is dominant over all others, it requires cultural dominance. And while many people will speak to the economic faltering of the United States, which I absolutely agree with, I absolutely agree that American influence economically is faltering and that Trump is one of the people that is shocking the world and telling them, no, we're still the fucking hegemon economically, fall in fucking line, that's good. If you care about American hegemony, you must agree with that. There's no question you must agree with what he's doing in terms of trade, what we're doing with every other nation on earth, including our allies. We have no allies as it relates to our hegemony of the world. That's why we live in a unipolar model. There are no equal actors to the United States. The UK is not an equal actor to the United States. Germany is not an equal actor to the United States. Italy is not an equal actor to the United States. France is not an equal actor to the United States. Every other nation on earth is not an equal actor to the United States. That is the position that anyone that considers themselves a nationalist should take. That is realpolitik. That is how we maintain our hegemony in the world, is making sure every other nation on earth is just a nation and we are a superpower. No other nation can contest it. That's how we continue the status quo of American unipolarity, of just us remaining a superpower. And I know that this is kind of a weird tangent to go on for some people, and I imagine some people are mocking the fact that I'm relating this to anime, but no, that's a fact. This is Japanese influence over the United States, over the West. And it's not a good thing. But anyways, we'll move to this article. So this went ultra vile the day it came. Ultra vile, ultra viral. Holy shit! I've been up since 4. Please, have mercy. So this happened near the end of the month. Let me take a sip of my Arnie Palmer real quick. Appeals Court, 9th Circuit, which is supposed to be super liberal, quote unquote. Appeals Court in the United States decided that Americans apparently have a constitutional right for open carry in public. So there's a reason why this went very viral the day it happened, because this is kind of a landmark decision and it's from the appeals court. So it's not technically from it's appeals. So it's not the Supreme Court. So it's not something that is binding in every fucking state. But what this does to the appeals court is actually open the door of a new lawsuit where it's like, you're going to have some fucking gun nuts going, hey, all right, baby, time for some fucking lawsuits. And it's going to go to the Supreme Court. And guess what? The Supreme Court is probably going to rule in agreement with the appeals court that every state must then comply with the ruling that you have a constitutional right to open carry. You just have to qualify for the permit. It's very likely what the ruling will be, is that you have to have the credentials necessary and the qualifications necessary to obtain a permit for open carry. But if you can obtain it, you have a legal right to open carry in public in every state in the fucking union. Oh man. It's amazing to me to watch like the fucking all the speech shit and all the gun nut shit and it's like, oh, we're gonna go to the Supreme Court and we're gonna sue, bake the cake and then you lose. So a shop owner now has the legal right to discriminate. And now you do this shit. Because this is the thing. It's all activist groups. It's all activist groups that do this shit. And then they go to the they go to the appeals court, the 9th Circuit, and then they lose. And the gun nuts win. It's just like, well, there you go, you fucking morons. Why do you got to push this shit so hard? Why do you have to push this shit so hard? And I can answer that. Anyone wondering why they push this shit? Oh, ban guns. Ooh, there's too many guns. You know why? They got nothing else. What the fuck are they going to campaign on? What the fuck are the Democrats going to campaign on? Other than ban InfoWars, ban Breitbart, and fuck gun owners. Fuck your rights. What do they have? What the fuck are they going to campaign on? There's some bigots in America. Not every conservative is accepting of gay people. Oh man, Wow, we can legislate our way through that, can't we? Oh, Christ. Oh, I read this article. I just laughed. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. The most quote unquote liberal court in the country is like, yeah, by the way, you have the legal right, the constitutional right to open carry. It's like, wow. Good job. Good job, activists. Good job. You deserve that round of applause. Holy shit. Oh man, what a fucking month. That was last month, but still. Oh, the activists just can't stop fucking losing, man. They just can't stop. The bake the cake shit was the funniest too, because it's like they fought it all the way to the Supreme Court. They fought it all the way to the Supreme Court, and people were looking at it like, I don't know, this is kind of a questionable ruling. I don't know. They lost. They went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court's like, like, we don't want to really rule on this, but he does have the legal right. Oh, like they so badly wanted to avoid the issue because they know that, like, if another one of these fucking lawsuits go to the Supreme Court, all the federal regulations and discrimination go away. All of them. So people are like, if you want to hang like I said earlier, a no nigger sign on your door, you will have the legal right to do it. If these activists don't stop, they have to stop suing people. They have to stop going to businesses, making a big stink, being told to leave, and then suing the company for not doing whatever, and then going to the Supreme Court and losing. Every time they do, they lose. I said this to my parents out of just shock. I talked to them about this when it happened. I'm like, because I was watching the local news with my parents eating dinner, and it comes up, and I was like, I couldn't believe this ruling. And my parents don't really care that much about the Supreme Court. And I explained to them how funny it was to me, because it's like you have these activist groups suing these like religious people, and obviously I'm in the position of ethically, morally bake the cake. If a gay person comes into my fucking bakery, I'm going to bake the cake. I don't care that they're gay. But here's the thing, okay? That's my personal stance. The thing is, these activists come into these people's bakeries, their businesses, and they say, bake me this product, do this thing for me, provide me this service, or else, in effect. The people go, no, I'm a religious kook, no. And so they sue them. It goes all the way to the Supreme Court, and they go, nope, they have the right to discriminate. You don't have the right to their service. And it's just like, well, this keeps happening. This is like the third case where this has fucking happened. Not the case on the screen, but the case of the cake. It's like the third case in a row where that's the ruling. And it's like, if you keep fighting this, you are eventually going to, because of your fucking autism, you are going to, in my lifetime, remove every fucking federal anti-discrimination law. You are going to be, in effect, rolling back whatever it is, the equal whatever thing. Oh, God, what is it? It's not equal opportunity. What's the equal? It's the equality doctrine that was amended to the Constitution. You will be, in effect, rolling back civil rights because you have so much fucking autism. Somebody can shout it out. I forget the name of it. But yeah, their autism won't allow it, though. That's the thing. Their autism won't allow for them to just give it up. Just stop fighting. Stop fighting every fucking random Christian you come into proximity to. Just stop. Let's see here. Okay. Actually, I had that on the screen for quite a while as I was ranting. Let's get a new one. Oh, here's a good one. Here's a good one. Here's a new placeholder while I look for another story. And let me scroll through. See, and let me refresh this. So I see a bunch of notifications on my Twitter, so I'll check that in a second. Okay, I got a couple stories here. Hold on, let me check these. I don't really care about this art. I'm just gonna unfavorite this article. I don't care. Bunch of people from a bunch of different media outlets were caught saying a bunch of shit. Oh, I guess I'll post this. What the fuck? A bunch of people from a bunch of different outlets got caught saying they hate white people. So I'll just put that on the screen. You can feel free to read this or not. I don't really care. I'm not surprised by that in the fucking least. That's just like, oh yeah, it's Tuesday, by the way, Louis. It's like, okay, thanks. I didn't know that. Just another Tuesday. Oh, here's a story. Okay, I knew I had one more. There's and it doesn't really matter. Who cares? Fucking the UK trying to banning. Who cares? UK trying to ban somebody. It's fucking Tuesday. Didn't know that. Is this? Let me see. Oh yeah. I'll do that article. Conservative use. I have a bunch of Koch brother articles that I'm sorting through. I don't care about that. Fuck the fucking New Hampshire is too. Who cares about that article? Who cares? I already retweeted that, so it's good enough. That might be it. Yeah, that's it for the articles I got. So we got 2 more articles, and then I'll go through the super chats. I apologize for those of you that put in super chats. I've been busy trying to get to these articles and talking, pontificating, which is my job in this regard of operating on this channel. Let me save this article before I forget. So the Koch brothers are threatening to support Democrats if the Republican Party doesn't fall back in line with promoting Ben Shapiro's vision of being libertarian on the borders. That's the opinion he held before he got pressured into saying that he's actually against open borders. Sorry, I forgot. I didn't mean to slander him. Ben. Ben has been having a bad couple weeks. Oh man, he's just been all over the fucking place, and people have been roasting the shit out of him because he's been so inconsistent. So yeah, there's not really much to the story. The Koch brothers suck. Feel free to read the article. They're pro open borders. They're internationalists. They suck. There's internationalists on the right and the left. I hate the Koch brothers, and you should too. This is a sad story. This is going to be the sad story of the stream, where apparently some guy, where was it? France? Where was it? Germany? Was that where it was? A world-renowned Swedish opera singer is speaking out against the Me Too movement, saying that her husband went into the deepest depression and killed himself after accusations of workplace harassment were made against him, The Washington Post reported. Annie Sophie von Otter said her husband, Benny Fredriksson, killed himself 3 months after reports in Swedish media, Sweden, that he had tolerated sexual abuse and harassed his own employees while leading the Kulturhurst, whatever the fuck, in Arts and Culture Center in Stockholm, Sweden. So I believe this is the second suicide after frivolous allegations. By the way, look at the shares. This is so fucking depressing. Look at the fucking shares on this article from The Hill. When we just did one about open carry and we had all these retards flipping out, when it had like over 20,000, like 20-something thousand shares. This article about a guy that got falsely accused, didn't go to the police, didn't do anything, just rumors and accusations against the guy, and he fucking offs himself. And his wife is left a fucking widow and is now speaking against the movement for having been the culprit of why her husband fucking killed himself. So this is the second body that can be attributed, as far as I'm aware, to the Me Too movement. So congratulations to Me Too activists. When you don't go to the police and you just slander random men, sometimes they fucking kill themselves. So congratulations. Hope it's worth it. Hope it's worth your fucking communist revolution, your gender communist revolution, to see men killed for your accusations and nothing more against them. So let me get caught up here with all of your guys shit sending it my way. Let me see here. Hold on a second. Okay, whatever. I don't know what that reply is. Daka says, Louis Le Vau arrives in Japan wearing his MAGA hat. He approaches a group of women. Hello, I've been sent by the Trump administration to negotiate the racial merger between whites and the Asians. East Asians, friend. Close enough, though. That's correct. I want that to be my official mission, my diplomatic mission to Japan, is to influence the Japanese women. Okay, a bunch of people are reacting to what happened with Jeff earlier. I'll just leave that alone. I've already talked enough about it. Fucking Dankula. I'll just retweet this. This is a funny thing by him. Okay, so I'll catch up on the super chats now. I apologize for taking so long to do that. Okay, Mobile Crusader says, I'm going to buy a Nip Nong Chim Chong shirt through your affiliate link, but they only had it in small. Here's the money I would have spent. Well, thank you, Mobile Crusader. I appreciate that. Sorry that they fucked up and didn't have your shirt in stock. That's one of the unfortunate parts of anything imported from Japan. Shit goes out of stock real quick because it costs a lot to ship shit to the United States from Japan. Zontar says, I just watched 40 episodes of anime today. Well, maybe you shouldn't. Get a fucking job. But thanks for the support. Bazinski says, what the fuck is Holiday talking about? He makes and monetizes shit trying to debunk Jones's anti-vax or whatever. Is that speaking to like whether his video should be taken off because they contain his videos? I'm not sure what you mean by that. But yeah, he does make money off of trying to debunk Alex Jones, and that's fine. He can feel free to debunk Jones. I don't care. Tim Cornish, I already read that, but thanks again, Tim, for the support. Patrick, next on the list, Paul Joseph Watson, Lawrence Southern, Breitbart, Daily Caller. I agree, Patrick. Like the senator said, it's not stopping with fucking Jones, and I absolutely agree. Noda, banned account, says the ban proves that Alex is right about the mainstream media and globalists. It will, in part, it really solidifies it. He was conspired against. I don't think I want to see one person. I haven't even seen anyone contest it. I haven't seen one person even contest the idea that he was conspired against, because that is exactly what happened. I mean, my last video, I directly show you that it was members of the media that were actively calling for him to be censored, colluded in the background, pressured, and specifically they pressured Facebook quietly. Facebook exposed them by going public with it, and then they just went on to publicly call for him to be censored. And then they finally got what they wanted. And then they cheered and called for more. What more do you need from me? Mitch said, I'd pay more fine shekels for you to whoop either Kyle or the Progressive Voice's asses. I don't want to do response videos to Kyle Kalinske or Progressive Voice. Progressive Voice is a fucking moron, and I don't feel as though it's necessary for me to even acknowledge him. Kyle, on the other hand, is an irritant and always will be, and I have no interest in having anything to do with him. He's a fucking coward and can suck my dick forever. The UK is meh at the moment. Most cons are also weak, but you need a Jacob Rees-Mogg, Farage, or David Hannon figure, though Rand Paul is great. Rand Paul is a bit of a mixed bag, in my opinion, even from like not in my personal bias and not liking his politics or him being a quote-unquote libertarian, but he seems to be pretty wishy-washy on what he actually believes. So occasionally Rand Paul takes a brave stand, and that's good for him. Shows some spine in that regard, but he does appear to be kind of wishy-washy on certain things, and I'm not really big on that. Willow Run says premature shekels for 20K for my thanks in terms of my channel growth. That's not exactly happening. I've grown thanks to Sargon, and then it's kind of dipping back down. I've been losing subs, unfortunately, since then. Have you seen the Coke ads On YouTube following Trump's statements, do you think the GOP will eventually return to their money or follow their voters after Trump? Well, that's on the GOP. I mean, it's pretty clear from people like McConnell, not Rand Paul, uh, Paul Ryan. I mean, it seems to me that Paul Ryan, McConnell, and others are basically, they want Trump to go away. They want Trump to go away, and they want to return to the status quo. They don't like Trump. They don't like the direction the party's going in. They like the money. They like the Jeb Bush style politics that they engage in, and they think that's what works, and that's what it means to be a Republican, is just to be a wishy-washy person without any principles, who like basically says, I like Jesus. I'm a Christian. I support individualism, although I'll never explain fucking why. I don't like socialism, although I'll never explain what's wrong with it, and everything else. Modern conservatism, in large part, in my opinion, is a fucking joke. You stand for shit you can't explain. You stand for shit only in name only. I love Jesus. Well, to what extent? I'm never going to define it. Well, that's fucking great. Thanks for that input. I'm glad you're a fucking Christian. Oh, man, that makes me want to pull the lever for you, brother. You know, a lot of conservatives are just empty vessels. They're empty suits. And unfortunately, they're really still the majority, in my opinion, in the Republican Party, just empty suits. And that's what a lot of the power wants to go back to, is just that. And they want to lose the next election. If you have a Jeb Bush, next time around, a Democrat wins. I can guarantee it. I bet every penny in my bank account, you have a Jeb Bush Republican against pretty much any other Democrat wins. I've already seen the polls on that. If you have a completely listless, principleless, just boring fucking Republican that doesn't stand for anything and is just an establishment figure, they'll fucking lose. Doesn't matter how much name recognition they actually have. Doesn't matter. They could be the most well-known Republican. They can be the most fringe Republican. They'll still lose. I can guarantee it. You need someone that can activate the base of the right. And without that, all you need is a decently charismatic Democrat. You'll get fucking blown out. So the Republican Party ultimately has to decide how they're going to address the fact that their base is revolting against them, and they are demanding a populist leader. They're demanding populist leadership. Not every conservative is, to be sure. There's plenty of the Ben Shapiro's and National Reviews and what's his face French and all the rest. There's plenty of uber big brain, total hack job fucking conservatives who they stand for things on Monday and then other things on Tuesday, and I don't like them. They exist, and there's a decent percentage of them, but they're definitely not the majority of conservatives as far as I can tell. They're just the majority of the representatives. Baczynski says, what if a bunch of Alex Jones fans went to Nassim Agam, the chick that shut up YouTube and those companies? Also, I doubt that would happen. People exaggerate how crazy Alex Jones's fans are, and I would definitely make it clear that, I would definitely say in that case that nobody should do that to YouTube, because that just makes YouTube just in everything they do. You never fight this kind of thing with violence. Like if you're at a rally and some guy attacks you, by all means beat them into a bloody pulp. But if you're being censored, you can't answer that with violence, and that must be always disavowed and pushed against. The only condition in which violence is justified is if you are being attacked. If you're on the street and some fucking crazy Antifa thug, some far leftist attacks you, beat them to a bloody pulp. You have every justification to do so. You're beating up a terrorist. Understand that. When someone is using political violence against you because you are simply not them, they are a terrorist, and you have every justification to use force against them. You'll win in court, I guarantee it. Also, Philly D is towing the line because of the sweet cash. Probably. I mean, with Philly D and people like him, you ultimately can only push against the network so much. The bravest person, in my opinion, was PewDiePie in terms of pushing back against the media and even YouTube. Most of the big channels, including Philly D, don't have the fucking balls, frankly, to really push against the network that they really should. They're just going to offer flippant criticism, see both sides, rock their head back and forth and gesture, and that's going to be about all they do. They'll collapse the fence from their weight of sitting on the fucking on the post. It's spineless, but whatever. I'm not being paid millions of dollars to just say generic shit. Patrick says, since you tweet about the ACLU, I don't want to read that. Thanks for the support, Pat, but I don't want to read the tweet about the ACLU. All I hear is bad news about the ACLU, man. All I hear is bad news. Baczynski says the woman beat the Hispanic man with a future brick of the border wall. Well, I hope it's not built out of cinder block. I get the joke, but I hope it's not built out of cinder block. Cinder block is not that strong. It can be used for houses, if I recall correctly, or like I've seen a lot of warehouses built from cinder. Well, some the modern ones built from cinder block, but I can't really speak to the durability of it, and I think that might be kind of easy to pick through unless it's filled in. CJ says, I saw your Twitter exchange with Holiday. Jeff is very low energy and you were full dragon energy on him. Would love to see you two do a hangout. I mean, I can say that I'd be still willing to do one, but I don't know if Jeff still is. He kind of muted me, and that was my only communication method with him is on Twitter. So don't know if that's going to happen, but I'd be willing to do it. I'd be willing to have bygones be bygones, including with Matt, who thankfully I didn't have much of a blow up with, but this is the second big blow up I've had with Jeff. First time around, he was an asshole. I'll just say that. That irritated me. He was mean to me for no reason. It was uncalled for completely because I was nothing but polite with him, and he was just an asshole to me. Have I seen Kyle Kalinske was on Fox News? No fucking way. No fucking way. I don't believe that. Kyle Fox News. There's no way. Oh my God. No fucking way. Who was he on with?
Hey guys, before we jump into our next story.
Oh my God. Shut the fuck up, fat ass. Look at his face. Ah! Oh my God. I can't laugh too much because I'm not like the prettiest looking guy. But that you couldn't find a better looking frame, Jank. Jesus Christ.
Stole some of those issues. He ran against the wars. He ran against the trade deals. And so, if anything, Kyle, you might have a point. He also said he wasn't going to touch any of the entitlements, Social Security or Medicare. You make a good point.
Oh, come on with your fucking. Okay, so yeah, Kyle Kalinske was on Fox News. Congratulations to him. I don't even know who that host is. I've watched Fox News plenty of times. I have no idea who that host is. But yeah, apparently he was on fucking. Apparently he was on Fox News. So congratulations to him. I hope I'm on Fox News. Kane, Tombstones, Ben Shapiro. Thank you, Joe, for that support. Baczynski at chat in general. If you look to Keck hard, go read reviews for the Tutoru app. It sounds like that. It sounds like a reference to Steins Gate. A chick you can't stop from dying says that. Spoiler. Prince of Conquest says, put on the red cap to bag the MAGA Japs. Oh, that's a great fucking comment. That's a fucking great comment, Prince of Conquest. Oh, that's the title of this fucking of that stream. I'm changing the name of the stream right fucking now to that. That is a great fucking name. Holy shit. Holy shit, that is funny. Oh, I've already been demonetized. Probably because I said nigger earlier. Hold on, let me I'm gonna change the name of this stream to that fucking quote, because that is an excellent quote, dude. That is an excellent quote. Let me make sure I get your name. That is such a fucking funny name. Prince of Conquest. I'm gonna credit you in the description of the video.
Title credit to Prince of Conquest. That is a fucking awesome phrase. Let me save that. Make sure that's saved before I go back to the control room. It's slow for whatever reason it's saving. Did it save? Are we done? Okay, it looks like it. Oh man, I'm still gonna use the picture of that woman with the cinder block in her hand as the fucking photo. If you can come up with something better for me to use as the thumbnail, then by all means. But it to me is so funny. Anyways, keep up the good work, Louis. This is from yet another Just Crusade. Check out Nukavi. He's doing a Q&A series over the last few months. I think you'd be a great candidate. I'm not really sure what that is. I'll Google it. I've never heard of it. Nukavi. You might have to tweet this at me because all I have are some kind of something, a reference to anime, a reference to mythology. You're gonna have to fucking DM me or something. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Baczynski says when the Me Too movement ironically hurts women by taking their partner, making their partners kill themselves. Yeah, there you go. One again, they created a widow. They literally created a widow by having this guy kill himself over allegations that I haven't been in any way substantiated, as far as I can tell. Months later, none of them were substantiated. God Our Emperor says, "Hey, recently started supporting your Patreon under the same name. Sup from the land down under." Oh, I got an Aussie listener here. The media here is absolute bro. Your media is fucking insane. I've seen plenty of fucking segments from Australia, and they only manage to top themselves one after another. Media people in fucking Australia are like they're like toilets swirling the opposite pattern. Your brains operate in a fucking swirling pattern the opposite way. Irrationality is commonplace in Australian media, bro. It's insane, these segments I've seen from there. Anyways, go look on my old videos when I talked about like gaming out of Australia, companies that are not even around anymore, bro. The shit that they've said is crazy. Dale Ritter says, when my dad sees something tricked out with duct tape, he says that it's nigger rigged. Would you consider that to be racist? Well, he's saying it in a positive sense, so not necessarily. Like I've used in common parlance, I've said the term Jew down or Jewed down when speaking about, the fact that I'm trying to buy a house unsuccessfully so far. I've placed 2 different bids, one of which where I went back and forth a million fucking times until finally some asshole came out of nowhere, swooped in and just gave them the fucking asking price. They didn't even negotiate with me afterwards, like offer me the same or more, like get into a bidding war. They just took the fucking offer. But it's like, how desperate do you got to be where it's like they're already overcharging for the house by at least 20 grand, and then you swoop in to undercut me and pay the asking price? It's like, okay, bro, you can have that fucking house. I'm not paying 20,000 more for that place. Oh man, that happened to me just like 2 weeks ago or maybe less. It really sucked because I thought I was actually going to get the house because it was getting into the last couple of moments of negotiations. Like we were only a couple $1,000s apart from having an agreement. And then some cocksucker swooped in. But I'm not too worried. The house wasn't that nice. But thanks again, God Emperor. Patrick says, what does Rooster Teeth get a pass on their SJW-ness? I know who Rooster Teeth is, but I'm not really familiar with them that much. If they're SJW, then that's on somebody else to observe and, bloviate about. I don't really have any opinion. I have enough on my plate with SJWs. God Emperor says, Jeb would lose to a dead sea turtle by Pickle Rick, random legend in chat. Yeah, I've seen Pickle Rick in there before, so shout out to Pickle Rick, and thanks again, God Emperor. And yeah, I'm going to make a video, probably. I won't say just yet because I have to structure it to make it work. But I want to do a video talking about that article from whatever it was, David French from the New York Times, where he just concedes the left's argument and how like it's not just him. Like there's a whole
litany of different people on the right that just do that constantly. And these are people that are brought in by think tanks, that are paid by think tanks as serious right-wing intellectuals, where they just walk in, sit down, take a sip of their Arnie Palmer, and you go, yep, the left is right. And then they get up and walk out. And I say this as someone who's center-left. Why are these people your intelligentsia? Can I ask that? Can a conservative answer me that? Like, I don't understand why your intelligentsia just straight up has a gig where they just concede arguments constantly to the left, where they publish New York Times articles just going, yeah, by the way, my opposition, they're right. And it's over shit like America is institutionally racist. Like, that was the article I cited in the video I did, the last video I did on Alex Jones. Like, I cited it just because it was so, like, shocking to me that this was so common. Like, I had just done a video about the one guy that's all over MSNBC and shit now, NBC, who's a right-wing galaxy brain, who's been basically disowned by so many conservatives because he's such a fucking hack. He was at the American Enterprise Institute, and he was basically making the case of like he didn't say it then, but he knows that a lot of who supports Trump are white working class people. And he basically said in that argument, white working class people are fucking lazy. Fuck the white working class, import a new class of labor. That was his argument. And he's a conservative. Fuck citizens, import foreign nationals. That is the opinion of a conservative who everyone regards him as unequivocally, objectively smarter than myself. This conservative who's smarter than myself, and no one on earth disagrees with that. No one on earth, no one in chat, no one here, no one anywhere thinks that this guy is dumber than me. And yet everyone thinks that his opinion of open borders is just a good thing and fuck American citizens, that is a conservative position. I'm supposed to regard that as a conservative position. Fuck native citizens. Go team foreign nationals. Again, just explain it to me. Like, I don't get it. I'm not even right wing. I'm not even a nativist. And I see that as completely fucking repugnant and not a conservative opinion. I guess I'm just not smart enough. Joe says, hashtag Me Too won't die until a lesbian femme is targeted. Probably when women are starting to be targeted, that's probably when it dies. Carlos says, for house fund, looking to buy one soon. Good luck. Thank you, Carlos, and good luck to you. I hope you don't live in fucking out west. Come here to the east. Houses aren't that bad around in the east. At least unless you live in like Virginia or something. But in many parts of the east, especially in rural parts, houses are cheap as shit. In my area, they're cheap as shit. I live in the cheapest place to live in all of New York, and one of the cheapest places to live in the entire country is where I live. It's one of the cheapest places. I had people challenge me on it, and I showed them evidence that like you can get a fucking apartment a few miles from me that is like $550 a month to rent for a rented house. Anyways. Check your Twitter to find the new Nucka Cucka. Now you're changing what the fucking word is. Nucka, whatever. Oh, okay. Excuse me. Fucking, yeah, I've never heard of him before, but I'll take a look at him. See what he's up to. Thanks for your support. Says God Emperor again. Says Jordan Peterson came out on our MSN and with some dragon energy. I'll tell you that. I think I saw that clip of him in Australia. Spyman says, "Ye mate, rent is like $400 here in Detroit." Well, there's a reason why fucking rent is $400 in fucking Detroit. And it's because you live in a fucking gangland. You live in fucking Mexico, dude. You live in Mexico where the cartels are fucking black people. Buffalo, I think, is one of the top 5 most violent cities. Detroit, not Chicago. Chicago, I've yet to see. I asked somebody for evidence, and they actually gave me a thing that said it wasn't it was in the top 10, but not the top 5. If you can give me evidence to say that Chicago's in the top 5 for most violent cities, I'd appreciate that information. But as far as I know, they're just in the top 10. Detroit, I believe, is in the top 5 for most violent. Let's find this image on screen is getting kind of stale, but I like this image on screen, not just for the lingerie, but for the embarrassed look with the tears in the eyes. I like that. I like that. I like that look. Let me. Ooh, yeah. Let's do this one. This is a spicy one. Actually, I don't know this. No, I'm not gonna do it because that one might get me fucking suspended or some shit. It's not super spicy, but I know I'm aware of certain things that YouTube has a specific bias against, so I'm not gonna post that one. Let's do this one. That one's pretty spicy too. I don't know. I don't know if I want to get too spicy. Let's do this one of Elf Girl. This one's pretty blasé. Okay, so I will now turn to the chat as I have spoken for long enough. Ooh, did I just get another super chat? Yes, I did. Joe says, the other day you said that Jordan P. Peterson said he was right-wing, but I couldn't find any source. He says he's a classical liberal. Has he specifically said he's right-wing? I can't quite remember if I did say that or didn't, assuming that I did say that. I believe he has referred to himself as center-right before, but as far as, he has he has himself only identified as a classical liberal. But I did see something where he conceded that he was quote-unquote center-right. I don't remember offhand where I saw that, but I do recall seeing something to that extent. But as far as, he is, I don't really see much about him that is, other than his going specifically too far into Christianity. Like, I understand what he's trying to say in terms of the mythos of Christianity and of narratives related to society. Like, I can understand where he's coming from a detached standpoint of which he's also doing that's not specifically just religious. A lot of people don't seem to comprehend that it's about the philosophy. It's about the reason why there are certain things in Western society that are just accepted, that are just that no one questions ever. And that one of the things that he talks about is that so much of the underlying assumption that is in the Western society is based on the mythos of ancient tales, mythology, Christianity, and religion. And I do think there is a lot of truth to that. I do think that fiction, mythology, religion, and commonplace narratives that were the foundation in which 1,000 years of philosophical evolution came from do hold some serious credibility to them. And I do think that they are worthy of regarding. And that's why, while I'm not a Christian anymore and I still maintain myself as an atheist, I'm not going to the fucking Vatican to rip down monuments and murals to ancient philosophers. I find the idea of desecrating murals, statues, and monuments to the past, I find that to be completely immoral, totalitarian. There's definitely the sentiment behind of why people destroy them. In every instance, whether it's Islam, progressives, anybody that's out there destroying murals, monuments, whatever, monuments to the past, they're doing it for totalitarian reasons. That's their mindset as they do it. And I'm fully against that. I've even become far more sympathetic to the people that want to keep the Confederate monuments up. I used to be in agreement with taking them down, but I'm very suspicious of the reasons why people now want to take down the Confederate monuments. I don't support people. I wouldn't wave the Confederate flag. I don't like Confederate statues and the rest of that. I also don't live in the South, so I'm not exactly surrounded by Southern fucking monuments and Confederate flags. But the thing is that I'm far more suspicious now than I was before of people trying to remove them. I find their reasoning to be not just dubious, but also in many instances clearly dishonest and just ideologically motivated. And I'm sorry, but that's not a good enough reason for you to bulldoze fucking history, in my opinion. Just because you think you have some you're on some fucking moral crusade to just bulldoze all of history. You know, I don't find that to be a good reason for you to destroy monuments and the rest. Mitch said, muted, I don't know what's up with you anymore. Yeah, that's pretty much the idea. You're gone too far, Louis. You've gone too far. You're losing it, Louis. It's funny because I've had several people say that to me before, and every time I've laughed at them, like, yeah, bro, I've totally lost it. I've lost all touch with fucking reality. Here's my substantive reasons for why I'm saying what I'm saying. Give me yours. Fuck you, you're muted. Okay, I guess I'm the one that's totally lost it, bro. Oh, man, I'm convinced. Bill Crystal, thank you, LM. Shout out to LM who just sent in the super chat. That's who I was thinking of. Bill Crystal's the guy that said, fuck the white working class, import a new working class. He literally said that. He literally said, fuck the working class. We're importing a new one because the white working class, and he didn't have the balls to say the black working class too, but that's who's included in the working class. They're fucking lazy, so to hell with them. Let's import a new labor force. He said that. He said that. It's not only is it an unbelievably repugnant position to hold, and he just flippantly said it without any regard to it. And he believes it. I truly believe he believes that. But also the fact that you're a conservative. Like, you're not a liberal. You're not a utopian open borders type, or at least you shouldn't be. I mean, that was the whole thing of, I thought a conservative was supposed to be conservative and more nativistic in terms of America, that they're nationalist, that they define what they believe based on the interest of the nation, of themselves, and of their countrymen. I didn't know that to be a conservative is just like, yeah, fuck America. I'm looking for my end, bitch. The businesses here, they're all mega corporations and are multinational. They're looking for their end too. So fuck white people, fuck black people, fuck every American citizen. Let's import a new labor force that they have to directly compete with and will suppress wages even further. Wow. Some real true blue conservatism right there, guys. And by the way, for those of you that are conservatives, and this is going to be one of the underlying points of my video if I do it, is you got to get rid of these fucking people. You know, if I'm going to be expelled from the left because I'm a homophobe, apparently, and because I support Alex Jones, that makes me insane. If I'm going to be expelled from the left, you guys got to get rid of these fucking people. I'm not joining the right. I'm not becoming a conservative so long as you have these fucking cocksuckers around. That's my line in the sand. Once Bill Kristol, David French, and all these other fucking cocksuckers are gone, then maybe I'll consider becoming a conservative, but not before. So clean your fucking house out. I want these people fucking gone. Anyways, Krystal, a neoconservative, rootless, cosmopolitan Zionist, hates the working class and views them as replaceable. That is Zionist I can't speak to, but views them as replaceable. That is his literal opinion, either in Iraq or in the factory. Wow. Yep. I agree there, LM. Other than Zionist, because I don't really know his politics around Israel. Spyman says, Jeff Holiday has always been a pseudo-intellectual hack. All he's ever done is ride the wave of anti-SJW, suddenly becoming popular. So I won't agree to that. I won't agree that he's necessarily a pseudo-intellectual, because I have heard opinions from him that are based on intellect and reasoning, so I won't agree with that. He's acting in this instance as a disingenuous actor or a dishonest actor, by just not engaging with me and just muting me because he didn't feel like talking to me anymore because I called him out on not actually having a standard. So he just walks away. That's my fault for just showing him that, again, he has no fucking standard. That is the fact of the matter, as far as I'm concerned. Had no retort to that. That was anyway not just empty dismissive of empty dismissal towards me, which is the exact problem I had with him last time. He did the exact same fucking thing. Thankfully, this time around, he wasn't so fucking mean. Josiah says, I feel like people take these stupid positions like Spino and Jeff are doing this to separate themselves from the community and for no other real reason. Maybe that's the case. The whole thing is that the only person that I can speak to is Kyle Kulinski. I know for a fact, externally and internally, I have inside knowledge that Kyle Kulinski intentionally and consciously distanced himself from Sargon for the sake of his own politics and for no other reason. That is one of the most disingenuous and spineless fucking things that someone can do, is have someone who's friendly with you, who is never said an ill word of you, ever, defends you constantly, and then you, in effect, stop all communication with them because you don't like their politics. That's one of the reasons why I have no respect for Kyle at all. And I'm not going to watch his fucking videos. I'm not going to discuss his videos. I'm not going to rebuke his videos. I want nothing to fucking do with him. He can go hang. Fuck him. He's a total coward. And completely, he'll put the knife in the back of people that consider him to be a friend for the sake of his own fucking stupid totalitarian politics. He is a professional shill for a totalitarian movement, and he is going to be one of the first people shot in the back and put into a mass grave for being, once he realizes what his own movement is, he'll be one of the first people in the mass grave. Fuck him. But in regards to anybody else, Spino, I have no association with, and I haven't for quite a while, and I don't really want to speak of him. And I have no interest in speaking to him again. It's been quite a while since I've had any kind of communication with him, and his actions speak for themselves in terms of what he's done, and he can remain irrelevant for all I care, as he is. Jeff, on the other hand, I'm willing to forgive, like I've already said. Rogue Crusader said, can Catwoman consent? Yes, because she's not actually a cat. Spyman says, the way Jeff acted towards Too Long Didn't Read was unacceptable. I didn't see exactly how he acted towards TLDR, but TLDR he's not exactly batting 1,000 himself in terms of his behavior. So I can't speak to what exactly he did in that regard, but TLDR is not exactly batting 1,000 himself in terms of his behavior either. So Mitch says Kulinski for Gulag. Well, he will be. I won't be the one doing it. I won't be the one censoring him, doing anything to him. It's going to be his own side. He has no fucking clue that what's coming for him. If his side ever wins, I swear to God, he's going to be the first one in the fucking grave. It ain't gonna be me. It's gonna be him. He's gonna be the first one to fucking go. But yeah, he is a shill. Kyle is a shill for the worst elements of his movement. He spends practically every other day defending his own fucking movement from its own actions. That's how much of a fucking hack he is. So I have no respect for Kyle anymore. I have none. Styx thinks that Gillibrand will be the main Democratic contender for 2020, and she's going through extensive rebranding. So I've said the exact same thing. I've said, Styx and I have said the exact same thing in regards to Kirsten Gillibrand. The only thing is that I differ with him on how politically capable she is. I think that Styx is greatly exaggerating how much competence and power within the party she has. She does not have that much power within the party. If she gets the nod of someone like the senior senator, who's Chuck Schumer, she gets the nod of Dianne Feinstein or any other ones that are the powers within the party. If they tip tip their hats to her and Hillary Clinton endorses her, then she has a very serious chance of becoming the Democratic nominee. But the thing is that she's going to have to get through the debates, and the Democratic primary next time around is going to be rigged, I imagine, but you have to be able to stand the test of the debates. And if you look too weak, you're probably not going to get it. It also depends on where the money goes. The donors are definitely going to have their say in the party. And Kirsten Gillibrand has her pros, but she also has baggage, to be sure. I'd love to see what the opposition can dig up on her, which is opposition research. I'd love to see what they dig up on her. I guarantee you they find some shit on her because she has a long history in this state. And the further back you go in the state, the more likely there is you're going to find something. Guaranteed. It's been true for every politician in the state. The longer you go on, the longer you've been around, the more you're going to get found, the more it's going to be found about you. She's been around a long fucking time. And she's not articulate. She's not charismatic. She is super short. She's not overly good looking. So she doesn't really have much going in her way in terms of style, looks, charm, anything. All she has is the gender card, which she'll play at the drop of a hat, which, guess what? So did Hillary. It didn't work. She has a limited bag of tricks, and that's not going to be what beats Trump. If she went against Trump, she would kick, or if it was Gillibrand versus Trump, Trump would colossally dominate her. The debates would be a fucking bloodbath against her. Tulsi, I don't imagine Tulsi would do VP for Gillibrand. I don't think that would happen. I don't think the party would do it. Tulsi is too much of a fucking wild card. I doubt the party would do it. I disagree strongly. American culture is fully swing in Brazil. We import the craziest shit ideas from the Bay Area. Well, I mean, outside of exporting a bullshit related to the Bay Area moral majority there, Baczynski, I mean, that's not exactly anything. It's not movies, it's not culture. That's just totalitarian fucking politics. It's not anything worth regarding. Let's see here. Who are the actual contenders for the Dems, do you think? I saw a list from The Hill or some other Beltway publication that actually had I think it was 10 Dems they had a list of, and Tulsi Gabbard was on it, which is incredibly honest for them. If anyone could beat Trump, I would say it probably would be. It couldn't happen unless basically if Tulsi Gabbard became the head of the party, shot all of her opposition, literally shot them, and basically frightened every member of the neoliberal element of the technical left, and also basically said to the progressives, like, yeah, I'm a woman who's not white, fall in line, you fucking sexist and racist, and they went, oh, and they fell in line because that's their own ideology, she could win. She doesn't have much. She doesn't have enough experience. She has nowhere near enough pull to win, really, either in the party or in mainstream politics. But Tulsi Gabbard, give Tulsi Gabbard the kind of experience that even a Kristen Gillibrand had. Give her that kind of experience. So I'll say this, not 2020. She won't win in 2020. Tulsi Gabbard 2024. Imagine Tulsi Gabbard running against Jeb Bush. You know Tulsi Gabbard's going to fucking win. Tulsi Gabbard would make mincemeat out of Jeb Bush. So Tulsi Gabbard is a dominant force in 2024. There's my prediction for you. If she doesn't go down or resign or anything else, retire, come 2024, she will be a very serious contender for president. But 2020, I don't think it's going to happen. It's too early for her, and the party's too fucked up. Hang on, I'm getting fucking super chats. Let's see here. Daniel Irish says, love your passion. Thanks for your support, Dan. Dale Ritter says, do you think the Republican Party is going to gain offices I think you mean seats in the midterm? What do you think are the odds of a Trump reelection? My Trump reelection is still pretty high. I don't see anyone that could really contest him, and it would be a serious contest. So far, it would just be them doing their damnedest to fuck the election, and then Trump winning out in the end, and then laughing. I still think that Trump has a very high likelihood of reelection. Obviously, everything's conditional. It's not a guarantee, but that's my prediction as of now until I can see some serious contenders be put forward by the Democratic Party. And anything that they can ride on is an actual platform, and I haven't seen fuck all. But in terms of the first question, in terms of office gain, the Senate is a total lock. It doesn't matter what fucking happens. Trump could come out tomorrow and wave his dick on live television, and the Republicans are going to be fine in the Senate. They're going to control it. There's nothing changing there. Maybe they gain a seat or whatever. I'm not too sure. I'd have to look more at the specific polls, and there hasn't been any recent polls that I know of around those election or those seats. So I can't specify the exact. I mean, go to Sticks. Sticks will give you an opinion on what's going to happen in terms of specific seats. I don't have an opinion right now, but I would argue that and wager that the Republicans may control of the Senate easily, and then the House. I think that right now it's a contest between Republicans maintaining control of the House or Democrats having a very slim majority. I believe that's what it is. I can't quite remember offhand. That's the real contest: maintaining control or losing seats, and the Democrats take control. It's close. And things are ebbing and flowing back and forth, so it's really hard. I can't give you any kind of declarative statement of how I feel that it's going to run, and I can't think, as I normally say, how I think something is going to occur because I haven't seen the individual polling to declare for each seat. But my general feeling on the matter is if the trajectory remains the same currently, that provided any scandal happens, like if there's no scandals that happen between now and November, you're likely going to see the Republicans retain it. You're going to see the Democrats maybe pick up some seats, but I imagine that it's not going to be enough to unseat the Republican majority. So I would say that you're going to see likely the Republicans maintain control of both houses in the Congress. Prince of Conquest says, Louis crying half-naked anime girls are my kink. I'm not sure how you say ooh-woo, however you say that. Levi. That's true. Speaking of which, let me get this is getting kind of stale. Let me put up a new girl to be seen. Oh, fuck it. Whatever. Even if it gets my account suspended, even if I get a community strike, fuck it. We'll do this one. This is some edgy boy shit right here. There you go. Let's see what happens. Prince of Conquest says the anime placeholders are a good idea. Keep them. Sure, I'll keep them if people like them. Let's. I'm gonna do a poll in the chat. Chat poll. Ding dong. In the similar fashion of Frostpunk. Ding dong. New law or new poll. Press 1 for anime placeholders, or 2 for post. Let's get a 1 or a 2. Press 1 if you want to keep the anime placeholders, or a 2 to not have them. Let's we got 1 2, 2 2s, 3 2s, 4 2s, a lot of 1s, some 3s. I'm all for thoughts. This has gotten too edgy for me. 0, some 0s and 3s. 1488s. I don't know if that counts in the poll. That wasn't an option. Okay, well, it looks like the 1s are the majority. I'm going to have to give it to the 1s. I see some decent Vs. What is V? What do the V's stand for? Only hero picks? Thanks, Basinski. Thanks for that message there, Basinski. That's going to get me banned. 1776. Another 1488 Trapira. What's the V? Can someone explain the V? I don't understand the V. I don't understand the context of V. Not edgy enough? I'm getting calls that this is not an edgy enough image. Do I have any more edgy? Do I have edgier images than this one? Well, here's a Yuri Loli one, but that's not that edgy. This one's pretty edgy right here because you can may be able to see something to the panties. So that one may be the edgy one. I like this one. This is a cute one. I won't post that one just yet. I'm not sure if this one counts as too much more edgy. There's some edgy Yuri ones I got here. I guess we'll save those for another time. I'll save the edgy ones for another time. I got some cute ones here too that I like. I'll have to save these before I retweet them. Is V here? I didn't see V in the chat. Where is V? I'll give him a wrench, but I don't see him anywhere. Is he doing another stream? Is that why people are saying his name? Because I don't see him in the chat. I see Pickle Rick. I'm recognizing some V's, but I don't see V in the chat. You people are fucking liars. You people are fucking liars. You're just trying to control me. You're just a controlled opposition for the globalists. Nice try. Nice try, chat. Oh man. Who fucking added me? Somebody added me. Oh, whatever. Yeah, whatever. All right. So I'll answer a few more questions before we cut this off. So we've been bouncing around in terms of viewership tonight. We've maintained over 300 for most of this, so that's a good thing for me. So welcome all of you for joining me for as long as I've been going. I'm not even sure how long I have been going, but it's been quite a while, since 8:30, I believe. So hours and hours. I'm not paying attention to Logan Paul KSI. I watched the original KSI fight, but I find Logan Paul KSI to be incredibly boring. From Hong Kong? Do you think the East Asia situation will change much soon? The PRC likes to breathe down our neck, but we make too much money for them to want to be too hands-on. I'm not sure if I follow that question too much. I'm only able to follow Asian politics to a certain extent. Like every other politics that isn't American. I can only follow it so far. As far as I'm aware, North Korea is just doing what they're doing. They're falling in line. I've seen people contest that, but I haven't seen any evidence to say that that's true, that they aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. In Alexandria, Ocasio-Cortez endorsed a number of candidates in tonight's special elections. They all lost. Thoughts? You'd have to link me a post to that. Link to me on Twitter if you have some kind of reference to that there, Daka. That's funny, though. Play Girls Frontline for cute 2D waifus and guns. Girls Frontline? I wonder if I know that reference. Let me Google it. I do not know that reference. Is it a phone game? I'm not a big fan of phone games. I know that there's a bunch of these sort of waifu shooters around. Yeah, this is a phone game. Nah, I'm not playing phone games, bro. I appreciate the offer, but I don't like phone games. Fuck phone games. Check this Ohio special election. Why? Okay, I'll check this Ohio special election. What about it? Live results for Danny O'Connor And this is for the 12th special election. Danny O'Connor versus Troy Baldenson in 2018's next big special House election. Troy, okay, so the Republican won. Ohio 12th Congressional District special election. Democrats try to break a 30-year losing streak. And by appearances, they failed by 2,000 votes. What's G? Green? Green Party? Got 1,000 votes. Congratulations to Joe for getting 1,000 votes. So the Republicans just picked up a seat then? Is that what I'm looking at here? You'll have to update their Z, what's your face, to see if that's sufficient for what I just talked about. Thoughts on Monday and Matt defending Jeff Holiday, promoting Red Cortez, and saying that we should abolish ICE? That's a stupid utopian idea, and anyone that believes it is a fucking moron. Anyone that believes that we should abolish ICE is a fucking idiot. Because either they're disingenuous and they just say, oh, we need to bring back INS or some other shit, and it's just a political expression, and you're just being completely disingenuous because you think that's a fucking... I don't even want to get into it. Like, I'm for the good things. I'm for kittens. You know, that's great. Thanks. Thanks for that empty fucking platitude. Abolish ICE. Well, that's another fucking empty fucking platitude. Thanks. You either mean open borders or you don't, and if you don't, shut the fuck up. You're just completely disingenuous. So I'm being asked for Yuri placeholder. So let me find one. Let me find, let's see if I got any spicy ones. I don't think I do, though. I got some cute ones, but I don't think I have any spicy Yuri. Occasionally, oh, actually, I do have a spicy one. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Here's a spicy Yuri one. There you go. Here's some spicy Yuri for you. Hopefully that satisfies you, the person who asked. Thank you for the support there, Robert Hop. Hop. I think it's Hop. Thanks for the $5 with no message. You probably banned your message. I apologize for that if it did. I tried to turn off all the censorship shit on the chat, and it just does it anyways. There's nothing I can do anymore about the chat. There's actually a Yuri anime, I think, that's coming out. I know it's a manga, but I think it's an anime called Spice Your Life or something like that. I forget who made it. Let me Google that. Yuri Spice Your Life. Let's see if I can find it. Spice Up Your Life. Is that it? No, that's something else. I get Spice Girls references. That's not what I'm looking for. God damn it. It's called something. It's some Japanese Ringlish or whatever it said. Broken English from the Japanese. Someone can say if they know what it is. Pregnant Yuri, please. I don't have any pregnant Yuri. I'm sorry. No Fuda. That's not happening. Now there's people. I like the people doing the lyrics for the Spice Girls. I would place them, but I don't want to have this fucking, banned off. English, thank you. Banned off of my, channel. I forget what the fucking name. It's so fringe. I don't know if anyone can tell me. Whatever. Anyways, I'll do one more question and then I'll end the stream because it's almost fucking midnight. We've been going for a while. So one more question and then we end it. We end it all. So if you have something you want to ask, answer it now. Food nerd is woke. New Zealand is a progressive shithole, and most of our politicians don't believe in free speech, including our prime minister. I don't find that surprising in the least. I've been told many things about New Zealand that make it look like a regressive shithole. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what happened in you know the fucking South Pacific, but Jesus Christ. I'm not answering that question. I have no comment on changing the Twitter and all the rest into public utilities. I have no comment. I'm undecided. When will you debate Sargon and Loli? I don't know what to say. Like, someone has to set that up. You have to personally pressure Sargon to debate me on it. You're going to have to do that on your own end. I can't do it. Oh, man. All right, come on. Let's get one more real question. Let's get one more real provocative question. Oh my god. Fucking chat. Let me check Twitter one last time, see if I got anything on there. Oh my god. Okay, here's gonna be the last fucking tweet of the day. Here's the fucking last tweet of the day. Ready? This is what people are talking about the special election. Apparently, because of that special election where the Republican won by like less than 2,000 votes, everyone's going apeshit about the Green Party because they got 1,000 votes in the election. Wow. So that's what people were talking about. Okay. Okay. Thanks for that that mention there, Bubba. Let's see. Was that it? Yeah, that was it. Yeah, wow. Oh, holy shit. That's hilarious. Now everyone's going to be fucking freaking out about that for like the next day or so. Is that still true? Yeah. Oh my god, dude. It's even trending even more. On mine, it's 63,000 tweets. Let's see. I see apparently Stick said something about it. Let's take a look. Okay, I'll retweet him. I don't even necessarily agree. I'm just retweeting it for the sake of doing so for what happened. So apparently this is going to be probably the news of tomorrow. A fucking Green Party! Ah! There's probably going to be a recount. I mean, it's not that... Okay, hold on. No, Louis. The Greens are secret Russian meddlers. You know what sucks? Alyssa Milano said this. You know what sucks? Because of our unwillingness to pass policy that protects our election integrity, I immediately think the Green Party votes tonight at Russia. Oh, man. Every time a Democrat loses, it's just fucking Russia. Fucking Russia, dude. Every single time the Democrats don't win an election, fucking Russia, man. They just come in, they're hacking every election, and the Republicans maintain a 30-year record of winning that specific seat. But because the Democrats lost again, that means Russians. I'm convinced. Ladies and gentlemen, we got them. It's Russia. Oh, man. What a joke. What a fucking joke. Oh, my God. Wow, so that's what you're talking about. I had no idea. I knew there was an election going on tonight. I think there might be more than one, but I haven't really paid much attention to it. I've been getting into fucking frivolous arguments with people on Twitter. Yeah, you don't want people talking about the Green Party. I supported the Green Party in one election. They're fucking crazy. I'll never support them again. Okay, so I'm gonna hold to that because I said that was gonna be the last one. So I'm just gonna hold on. I need to. I'm gonna say in chat. So there's gonna be a new call request of chat. Type it out. Okay, so pay attention in chat. Press 1 if you aren't Russian. We need to find all the Russians and ban them from this chat. So I need everyone I need everyone in this chat to identify themselves if they are a Russian or not. And if you are a Russian, you're gone. You're gone. You're banned. I have moderators standing by. You're all banned. Anyone who is a Russian is now banned from this chat. I'm going to go back after this, and I'm going to collect all of your names. I'm going to ban every single person. I think every single person that does not immediately tell me that they are not a Russian. You know what's funny is that one of the people that I communicate with on Twitter all the time is ethnically Russian. He's also behind the conspiracy to have Democrats lose elections. He's also ethnically Jewish. Coincidence? I don't fucking think so. I'm not even going to name who they are. They know who they fucking are. Ethnically Russian and a Jew? I want to hear that isn't someone that is a spy for Israel and Russia, both. Yes, Russians. Yes, that's right, Spy Man. Russian with brackets. Russian with coincidence brackets. I'm gonna hold on. This is alleged. Russian with brackets. It's alleged. There's no proof yet. I have yet to be able to prove it. So it's Russian. Russian Israelis. Yes, you got it. You know what's hilarious is that were to catch on. So it's like, you know who's infiltrated the Green Party? Russians and Jews. That's who's infiltrated the Green Party, who's costing the Democrats elections. Russians and also Jews. That would be hilarious if that became the talking point. If it wasn't just, oh, it's the Russians, it's Greens, it's whatever. It's like, no, it's also the Jews. That would be the funniest fucking thing in the world. It would be so unbelievable. Someone needs to write an article for like the New York Times or like the Guardian or Huffington Post being like, it's not the Greens, it's the Jews, and try to get that trending among these people to see how long that lasts. In all fairness, there's a lot of Jewish people in the Green Party. There's a lot of Jewish people in every political party. I've met conservative Republican or Jewish Republicans. I've met Jewish Democrats. I've met Jewish socialists and whack job leftists. There's also like far right lunatic nativist Zionists or whatever Jews. There's Jews that are all over the political spectrum. The far left ones are especially crazy. Not that the far right conservative ones aren't crazy, but the far left ones, man, holy shit. Okay, so that's enough of this. We'll get back to Yuri Pick. You've never met a Jew? I've met plenty of Jews. There's plenty of Jews. There's plenty of Jews in Toronto and in Buffalo. Not a whole lot of Jews in Buffalo, but a lot in Toronto and New York City. So I've met plenty of Jews. Those darn Greens. But who controls the Russians? Oh, man. I really wish that would become a meme. That would be so funny if that became a meme. Like, people are like, the reason why the Democrats just lost a special election, Greens, Russians, and the Jews. That would be so fucking funny if that became a meme. People pretending, like, people basically creating fake profiles with Democrat forever, blah, 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 and then they make that accusation and try to get it mass retweeted. That would be fucking hilarious. All right, so we'll end it there. I appreciate everyone's participation. Appreciate everyone's patience and all the people that supported my channel. If you haven't already, head on over to my affiliates or my Patreon. My affiliates being JList or Play Asia, of which like I said, I just bought a. Let me look it up. Let me just look up that fucking statue I just bought. Play Asia. They just put it up. It's a pre-order. Let me find it. Let me find that fucking statue. Let's see here. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, they got a what's her face? Somebody shouted her out earlier. Let me make sure I log out of this before I fucking dox myself. Where is the logout? Where is the logout? Log off. Okay. I was to make sure I fucking dox myself. Let's see here. Oh, here's a couple good ones. There's one statuette we got from Play Asia, everyone's favorite fucking herbivore girl, whatever they call it in Japan. Here is 02 from Darling and the Fran XX. It's disappointing to me that this went the vanilla route. This should have been a Yuri anime. That is the anime that I support. That's my headcanon, as it were, is the Yuri route in that show. I have not watched it, but I'm just stating as much. Fucking Persona 5. Let me just fucking find it. No, this isn't the one. Where the fuck is it? No, it's not this $80 one. It's not the one I bought. It's a pretty cool looking one. I guess I'll link the $80 one in case you're interested. This one's pretty cool. This is him in the protagonist in his actual the Joker uniform. Let me find. Let me type in because he's in his school uniform. So let me put it in. Persona 5 school uniform. Okay, but they have the actual shirts and shit. Where is the fucking statue? You know, this is the kind of thing where it's like, you fucking... Why do you gotta make this so fucking complicated? You just advertised this shit. I fucking bought it myself. Why can't I find it? I'm trying to shill your fucking website. I'm trying to get you fucking orders here. And you're fucking with me. Where is the statue? Yeah. Play Asia. Protagonist. School uniform statue. Am I gonna have to like dig through my fucking email to find this? Okay, let's do it. Where is it? Where? Ah! Okay, got it. Here it is. I don't know why I couldn't find this. This is the one that I bought. For whatever reason, I couldn't find it. And I like it because it actually has, you can pose it as you wish, and some can and can't do this to some extent. But I like this a lot because you can actually put what's his face in the bag that he slings over his shoulder, the school bag, and he does that walk with it. And I thought that was really cute, and I was like, oh man, this is great. I have to get this. And this is likely going to be the pose I do with him, probably with the phone in his hand, looking down with the cat in the bag. So if you like this statue, you can head on over to Play Asia, use my affiliate link, and buy it. I liked it. I bought it because I like the protagonist in Persona 5. I like Persona 5. I've yet to fully beat it, but eventually I'm going to restart my campaign and beat it because I like the game. It's just a matter of it's got some grind to it, and I kind of got distracted by other things, so I never beat it. But I could say that about a lot of games. So yeah. So if you feel like it, head on over, use my affiliate link, buy this shit, or don't. If you don't feel like doing that, you can support me on Patreon. And see some hot take tweets. Okay. Oh, I got a new super chat. The anime placeholders are the only way to purge the untrue followers. Hell to Louis Le loyalists. Sure. Thanks a lot for the support there, Prince. So yeah, Use my affiliate links. The summer sale is still going on, by the way. I advertised that the other day. It's still going on. I have to check when it ends. And we'll go back to this Femdom Yuri. Before we... just now, Lewis has been diagnosed with, hey, Mitch, lick my balls. Good try, though. Anyways, so thanks for stopping by, everybody. Thanks for your contribution. Thanks for the support. I've gotten a lot of super chats, and I appreciate that support. I appreciate those of you that just recently subscribed to my Patreon. I've had an uptick in supporters, and I advocate for everyone here. If you want to support my channel for just $1 a month, or even more if you feel like that's necessary and you can afford it, feel free to stop on over to my Patreon account and support me there. It definitely helps contribute to my channel and motivate me to do streams like this, take time out of my day, even though I had a very long day and I still have work I got to finish up for tomorrow and it's fucking midnight. Be sure to support my channel, but otherwise, thanks for stopping by, and I'll talk to you in the near future.